Hello, a very good morning once again. Welcome to the Morning Focus. Remember, the Morning Focus comes your way from 6 right down to 10:30 a.m. I will done with the sports, the news, the weather. It's now time to turn our attention to look at other matters, the National Policy Focus. We bring you in-depth analysis of various subjects and issues that concerns the nation as we talk about the bread and butter issues. And also bring our scripture for this morning, brought to you in association with the Maranatha Power Ministry International, located behind the Lekma Polyclinic. We bring our African proverbs, and we ask that you support us with all this segment on the Morning Focus, be it the news, the weather, the sports, the scripture, and also the African proverb, the National Policy Focus, the newspaper review. It's embedded and very pregnant with a lot of layers within it. My name is El Samuels, and I'm here together this morning with my co-host
Bernard Agbemo Eduji.
Bernard Agbemo Eduji. Yeah. Good morning to you,
Good
Bernard.
morning, Mr. L.
How are you doing?
Can see you are in high spirit this morning.
Well, it's always good to be, once you are alive, life is a gift from God. So you need to celebrate the goodness of the Lord. And be grateful to him, because he said in all things we should give thanks. And I thank God that we are alive today.
Absolutely.
None of our bone is broken.
Yeah.
We've woke up on the good side of the bread. No bad news.
Yeah.
And we'll pray that it continues till the end of the day. And that God wakes us up this morning. So we're grateful. Our scripture this morning is from the book of 1 Corinthians, the chapter 2, the verse 16. 1 Corinthians chapter 2, the verse 16. I'll be reading from the Amplified Bible, and it says, "But we have the mind of Christ, the Messiah, and do hold the thoughts, that is the feelings and purpose of his heart." The mind of Christ. What is the mind of Christ? That's a big question, isn't it?
Yeah.
But we have the mind of Christ, the Messiah. And to hold the thoughts, that is the feelings and purposes of his heart. So what is the mind of Christ, and what are the thoughts of his heart? The Bible said, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he.
Yeah.
What have you been thinking of? What is your mind? Do you have the mind of Christ?
Yeah, I mean, this is a scripture that comes to remind us of who we are as Christians, right? It's not just about going to church every Sunday or service day, but putting on the mind of Christ. And Paul says that let this mind be in you, which was also in Christ Jesus. Yes, so it is all about becoming more like Christ, right? We behold him as in a glass, and we are reflecting his image. So putting on the perspective of Christ, the values of Christ. You know, the Presbyterians have a song, or say, Asembi ameka, adebi ameye. Osemi busa sebe Yesu fe, Yesu kanasa. So that is the mind of Christ. Will Christ do it this way? Will Christ say it this way? Will Christ go this place? If it is no, then you have no business doing it. So it's having the perspective of Christ, that forgiving nature of Christ, that redemptive nature of Christ, telling people about the kingdom, forgiving your brother, living as Christ lived, basically. That is all the scripture. And that is what makes us Christians. You know, the term Christianity came because they saw the lives they were living. They're like, oh, these people are like Christ. They are imitating like Christ. Right? So it is about becoming more like him.
Becoming more like him. And one of my favorite things to say is, where the mind goes, the man follows. Where the mind goes, the man follows.
Yeah.
Because it is the way you think that determines the way you live.
Absolutely.
The way you think determines the way you live. If you think you are going to be defeated, then you are going to have an attitude that leads to defeat.
Yeah.
But if you choose to think about God's promises, you are going to have a faith-filled, expectant attitude. Do I have to repeat that again? So one of my favorite things to say is, where the mind goes, the man follows. Because the way you think determines the way you live. as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. If you think you are going to be defeated, then you are going to have an attitude that leads to defeat. But if you choose to think about God's promises, which are sure and yea and amen, you are going to have a faith-filled, expectant attitude. Yesterday, you may have left your mind focused on negatives that you can't do, how badly you have messed up, all the things that could go wrong. But today, you can submit that could go wrong, but submit it to the mind with the word of God. You can actually choose the thoughts you are going to dwell on today. Choose what goes into the mind. With the help of the Holy Spirit, you can change your thoughts today. You can choose a better, more positive, more fulfilling life. That is the mind of Christ. The can-do spirit. The motivators will tell you you should have the can-do spirit. Have that mindset. What do you think about yourself? Look yourself in the mirror. What does the word of God say about you? I am fearfully and wonderfully made. And my inner man knows it. I'm the head and not the tail. The Bible said the Lord is with me all the time. He said, I'll go through. He didn't say crisis will not come. He said it will come. But he's always with us. He will see us through it all. If only we will trust him and obey him. That is what God needs from you. Your obedience. And we have this word that says obedience is always better than sacrifice. Your obedience. So what are the feelings and the purposes of your heart? As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. If you think negative, defeated foes, you will be defeated. This morning I want us to pray a prayer and say to the Lord, Lord, help me fix my thoughts on your promises. Teach me to reject negativity and live with faith, peace, and expectation, trusting that my life follows where my mind goes. Amen. That's why I invite you to come have the teaching service today, Wednesday, at the Maranatha Power Ministry International, located behind the Lekma Polyclinic, Nungwa Adugo. Today we're having a teaching service at 6:30 p.m. So join us and then get the engrafted word of God so your life will take a turn. The multi-purpose service, this and every Wednesday from 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Come sit at the Master's feet and learn his word, and your life will never be the same. The numbers on your screen, if you need more information, you call the numbers on your screen, the 0546 983 449 for direction and also for counseling. And for more information on the multi-purpose service that comes your way this and every Wednesday from 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. I personally invite you to be part of tonight's multi-purpose service. And that's how we draw the curtain on today's edition of our scripture reading, brought to you by the Maranatha Power Ministry International. Don't forget, the International Leadership Conference is coming off. So be part of it. Yes, be part of it. And you'll be surprised the amazing thing God is going to do with your life. And that moves us straight away to our Proverbs for this morning. And what is the Proverbs say? The African Proverbs for this morning. So the International Conference, Leadership Conference is coming off from the 17th of February through to the 22nd of February 2026. It's a place to be. Loyalty brings what? Elevation. And then you could see strong men of God are coming to grace occasion. Super. Come and be part of this International Leadership Conference. And trust me, you don't need to walk the 2026 defeated foes, but let those feeble hands be lifted onto the Almighty God. And that's what we need to do. And that's why we invite you to be part of it. 17th to the 22nd. Write it in your diary and set the alarms on it. And trust me, your life will never, ever be the same. God loves you so much. Well, so that takes us to our next, the African Center, where we bring the African Proverbs of the day. African Proverbs of the day. And it says, it is a proverb, a tree cannot stand without roots. A tree cannot stand without roots. It's a Ghanaian proverb. Right? A tree cannot stand without roots. Emphasize the importance of foundation, heritage, and the roots in our lives. Have you seen the Proverbs for the morning? Tree cannot stand without roots.
Yeah.
Like the builder goes to build. Bible said the one who digs deep to the rock, when the wind comes, it stands.
Yeah.
When the storm comes, it stands. So what roots are you building your foundation on?
Yeah.
And it's very important that in the essence, the Proverbs is telling you foundation is key. A strong foundation is necessary for growth and stability. Our roots shapes who we are and provide a sense of belonging. That is, heritage matters. Our values and principles guide us and gives us direction, and that is values and essentials. So the Proverbs, a tree cannot stand without roots, emphasize the importance of foundation, heritage, and roots in our life. Just like a tree needs roots to stand tall, we need our roots, our family, our culture, values to thrive. The Proverbs is often used to encourage us, so we do this to encourage and appreciate the heritage and the cultural roots from where we come from. We believe that this morning we've been able to touch base with you, and we want to say thank you for being part of today's edition of the Morning Focus. It's the African Proverbs of the day, our scripture of the day. As you ponder over it, your life will never be the same. And that takes us straight to the newspaper review segment of the morning, coming from the NBN News Center. Now let's start with the first major story on the newspapers this morning. We're looking at, before the newspapers, there's a lot of story that's come up. A lot of people are looking for it to see how the NPP election is going to be. How many more days to go? Today's Wednesday. So we are just getting a brand to turn around, and then this becomes a big one. But let's start with the New Crusading Guide newspaper. The New Crusading Guide newspaper is a Ghana Joins International Organization for Mediation as founding member. Last lap to MPP flag bearer primaries. Every vote counts. Get out and vote for me. Dr. Bawumia employs delegates. Government target 10,000 barrels per day to increase crude oil production this year. Vote Dr. Bawumia for MPP flag bearer. Let me see the name. Dr. Adamu Abdullahi rallies MPP delegates. Benitez said, reduce cocoa price, incur RAV. He said, reduce cocoa prices and incur RAV. I mean that the cocoa farmers, the minority dares and says cocoa farmers always poor under NDC government. Banking giants to converge at Gimpa Law School on the 12th of February to highlight bank boards' role in financial stability. Rousing welcome for iShow speed at the Black Star Square by Superstar Spectacles. Story on the New Crusading Guide newspaper this morning.
The National Voice, most of the stories are related to the NPP. First one, Freddie Blay, former national chairman, slams Frimpong Boateng over attack on NPP. You can find that story in the National Voice. Bawumia poised for victory after high energy nationwide NPP tour. Significant shifts in NPP delegates' preferences following final round of campaign. And the last story I will do here, Supreme Court dismisses OSP's bid to join suit challenging its powers. So it said, keep quiet. Let's determine whether you have the powers or not. You can't join.
They say, shut up.
Shut up.
You better shut up. That's what they are telling the OSP.
Yeah.
Shut up. You can't join. Now let's do the Meridian. The Meridian said, turn out and vote for me, Bawumia tell delegates. And holding the 3. Ademo Abdullahi endorses Bawumia ahead of MPP primaries. Help stir Ghana's economy reset, BOG to media. Major 3 banner headlines on the front page of the Meridian newspaper.
Business and Financial Times, DPC to sanction non-compliant institutions. Despite diplomatic gains, citizens face structural mobility barriers. Other stories, Standard Chartered flags strong 2026 returns amid an AI boom. And then we have a system-wide failures plague MMDA's financial management. The last story I will do, Newmont donates critical medical equipment to Kolebu. That is a good one. These are the stories in the Business and Financial Times newspaper. This morning you can grab a copy for details.
All right, getting a copy of the BFT, let's go to the Observer Times. The Observer Times has the lands crackdown. Cabinet OK's cancellation of irregular state land deals. Asambaba. Aban so ohwese ohwe ni mu say Reverend Sasia Eswa administration bebre aton. Yeah,
review.
Yeah, be hwe. Say kwan pa. Ofa kwan pa so eto na oto enso e ya he na utua. And I mean, only my devil kwan me hwe di. MMT. It me turn bass 2,500. Ghana.
And look at it make us so bass na 70. Na Sasia that cantonment.
No, me just say yes, scrap. Now feeling Sasia no you to me turn quarter price.
Oh, cantonment as cantonment Sasia. What's the price now? Me am ti kra me mobilize me tinya to. Cantonment.
Government can be an no dey afi. Ke okwe no ne ya no. Lance na here, she go na here. Ababa review fan or call his spoke no here, or Yakash no here, Quescano, ye naka. Anyami, I feel the needful. Cabinet okays the cancellation of irregular states land deals. Okay. My minister inaugurated grant management committee for a Jumewura program. I guess die. Jumewura program, no. Appointment place is also there. I stay patriotic. I mean, this is a partisan open forcing ups to nukes. That is a Bawumia calling on that score. So grab the Guardian, the Observer Time, sorry, and you get details of all the story. But I think my emphasis is on the cabinet, okay, the cancellation of the lands irregular deals. I mean, to what ones are Sibina or Shena and Unia go behind closed doors.
Closed doors, no coded.
No coded. Yes, and the problem be found. There we go. Now we move on.
The New Trust newspaper, Dr. Educhum promises patriotic health insurance scheme for elderly NPP members. Again, he's speaking, I only believe in election day polls, Dr. Educhum declares ahead of NPP presidential primary. It will be most unwise not to retain Bawumia for 2028 elections. Bantama MP says, you know, the executives there and the world coordinators have...
Yeah, they endorses Dr.
Mahmoud Bawumia. Okay. NPP presidential primary. Market women endorse Kennedy Japan. Yes, 2,949 killed in 14,743 road crashes across Ghana In 2025 alone, that is according to the National Road Safety Authority. These are the stories in the New Trust newspaper. Not too good. Not too good.
It's not too good. It's never too good. I don't think anybody will want to say it is good. Daily analysts, flag bearer race, reward Bawumia for sacrifices. Atachia tells NPP delegates at the Upper West Akim. So Akim West, Upper West is looking at it. My service needed more in Ayawaso East than Nigeria. So do you mean, yes, you are still not getting the grasp of it? Lawyer Baba Jama. That's the saying. GNSS mounts pressure on government to review and also regulate anti-legal mining task force to curb clashes. Daily Analyst has the story and more. Grab a copy.
Okay. I wanted to do the inside, but
the inside, you're having difficulties,
not
right?
too clear, yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
so
yeah.
let me pick those stories. It says, towards Ghana's food security. That's the inside newspaper. Towards Ghana food security, Energy Ministry. As you see, Jinapo, he's making headlines yesterday when he got a visit by the Vice President, Professor Nana Jane Opukwa-Agyeman. Is also there. Then you have the current government performance has been grand so far. That is coming from Gabi Ochiri Dakon. Then we have Fidel Castro's final reflections.
I would like to read that.
You like to read that. Yeah. And then the minority vows tough oversight as Parliament resumes work.
We pray so. Please do. We need you to be tough. We need you to be tough.
They call themselves mighty
minority.
And then the majority call them
micro.
Micro. No, now they even went to use a name, not the micro. I'm trying to grab that name again. The majority leader. All right, so take us to the Metro Lens.
The Metro Lens, 61% for Bawumia. APL poll stands rivals. Ayo, poll mu competition. We have a picture of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, who is one of the aspiring flag bearer of NPP. CJ Bafuboni meets IGP Yohonu. We have a picture of the CJ and the IGP beautifully captured. IShowSpeed disrespects Ghanaians, walks, jams, and sleeps in jollof rice served to supporters. You can see a picture of him sitting in the jollof. Anyway, so these are the stories on the front page of the Metro Lens newspaper this morning.
Away from the Metro Lens, let's look at the Ghanaian Point. It is 52% straight win for Kennedy Agyapong. Sanity African polls. Bawumia tipped to win NPP primaries with 57%. A Global Info Analytic also predicts that. Ignore the NPP minority. They are failed and lack credibility. NDC majority dismisses NPP minority claims on economy. All previously sold public lands to be reviewed for value. Lands Minister Educhum pledges party health insurance for elderly delegates. Promise number 1.
Please, viewers, forgive me. I left out a very important story. As
on the Lens?
As someone who, yes, Metro Lens, someone who lives in an Achim land. In fact, Achim Ebuakwa, Chebi precisely.
Oh, okay, you're talking about the commissioning, right?
Yeah. So, forgive me. Commissioning of Ochenhene Osajefo Amwetia of Oipenyin Street and Dr. J.B. Dankwa Runabout statue. That will be on the 7th of February 2026. Achim Adadientem eastern region of Ghana. Yeah, I had to do the story because I live there. So.
Oh, that's very good.
Yeah.
That is the man's hometown.
That is, yeah.
Okay, so we flip from Metro and we go to the campaign.
The campaigner, yes. So Bawumia leads APL final polls. We have a picture of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia on the front page of the campaigner newspaper. Ayawaso East NDC primary, Baba Jamal files to contest, and he was saying that Ayawaso East needs him more than Nigeria. Anyway, Cyber Security Authority warns of WhatsApp web banking. I can't see that word. Malware.
Yeah,
targeting Windows.
Windows users.
Windows users, sorry. Targeting Windows users. Please be careful of any of such schemes. The Cyber Security is warning. OSP cannot join suit challenging its powers. Supreme Court rules. So ASP, keep quiet and let us decide whether you have powers or not. These are the stories on the campaigner newspaper this morning.
Now let's do the Ghana politics. The Ghana politics has Mahama thanks China for debt support and a $60 million grant for the Ghana project. Remember the Aflao market is a 13 million grant for the Aflao market and a 13 million for the Science Technology University at Damongo being supported by the Chinese government. Ghana approves passport for American streamer ISO Speed. It was given a answer. Sometimes you don't get it, huh? Let me see diplomatic passport. Project to a black papa. What my diplomatic passport? Bob and then I'm ready. All right, today I'm quiet.
Anyway, let me do the mother of all newspapers, the Daily Graphic. The front page, my job creation records puts me ahead. That is according to Kennedy Akumpreko Ohene Ejapon, MPP flag bearer aspirant. Government takes over illegally acquired state land. Government takes over illegally acquired state lands. You see a picture of the Lands and Natural Resource Minister, Emmanuel Amakufibua. CRC recommendation on education. Maintain status quo on mission schools. That is according to the Christian Council. That story is on page 13 of the Daily Graphic. Energy reforms yield $15 billion. No blackout in 10 months. That is according to the Energy Minister, Dr. John Abdullahi Jinapo. These are the stories in the Daily Graphic, the mother of all newspapers.
All right, so away from the Daily Graphic, we do the Chronicle. The Chronicle says VIP calls for stronger environmental stewardship. Volta cocaine bust. IGP promotes officers who rejected $20K ride. Amelia Arthur, the woman revolutionizing Ghana's fisheries sector, is also on the front page of the Chronicle newspaper. So get a Chronicle.
So Chronicles is reporting that she is revolutionizing
Ghana's fisheries
That's
sector.
great. I mean, some of them are very quiet, but
Honorable
working.
Amelia Arthur. And I think there are some female ministers, I would say, are doing great. The trade and industry minister, Officer Jerry, and then Amelia is working behind the scene, really pushing for the fishery. And I think that all the women who've placed at the fisheries sector have done so well.
Yes.
So I think Shelley has, and then also
Aite,
and also
former MP for
the Chavez woman, right? So all tells you that given the space, they could do lots.
Yes, you need to go and listen to Emiliata's writing again. Look, absolutely fantastic. Oh God, I love him.
So I'm not surprised she's doing so well. And kudos. I mean, once she's been able to revolutionize our fishing sector, we salute her this morning, and also saluting the officers who turned down the bribery of $20,000.
Yeah.
And then they got promoted. I mean, values are very important. Good names is better than for you to take those bribes that at the end one day will take. I mean, it will tainted your name.
Yeah.
So kudos to those officers who get the chronicle, get details of the stories.
The Daily Gist. The Daily Gist. Deputy AG storms court with 4 commandos. Anyway, minority blast government over lithium deal withdrawal. Bawumia, MPP's strongest choice for 2028. That is according to the former Lands and Natural Resource Minister, Abu Jinapor. First Sky sponsors 6 successful kidney transplants in Ghana. First Sky doing the most. We are grateful for everything you are doing. These are the last one. MPP tightens rules on Saturday presidential primary. These are the stories on the front page of the Daily Gist newspaper this morning.
All right, so the Daily Gist takes us to the Source newspaper. The Source has Bawumia best to lead as Sensubuachi. Bawumia is MPP's strongest 2028 choice, Jinapor. MIIF Exodus Citizen files RTI demanding staff info. Gold Board and Bawa Rock IERPP ask for details on deal. We will reject certificate of agency. Minority. So those are the stories on the Source newspaper.
The Daily Statesman. Bawumia gets massive endorsement. I said, Bawumia or papers new power.
I said, what all the papers.
Bawumia gets massive endorsement in Ashanti region as he concludes NPP flag bearership campaign. No more bills under certificate of urgency. Minority wants NDC, and the majority leader responded that they are hypocrites for saying that because they introduced more bills under the certificate of urgency. Jinapor, Bawumia is NPP's best bet for 2028 election. IERPP questions legality of alleged 2 billion Ghana Cedi Gold Board guarantee. GES teacher calls for pedagogical shift over WASSCE failure. That is very important. I mean, I don't know what we are teaching in high school. So we need a pedagogical shift. I mean, yeah, so these are the stories on the Daily Statesman newspaper this morning. Grab a copy for details.
All right, so away from the Daily Statesman newspaper, let's do the Ghanaian Times. The Ghanaian Times, restoring confidence in land administration. As the sector minister on the front page of the Ghanaian Times, that's Emmanuel Amakofi-Boa, is a government to cancel illegal land deals minister. Then you have nominated the sector minister for education, Haruna Idrisu, shaking hands with the Ghana Traditional Council. That's a Niteko Chulu II. They say, make Ghana, the Gadangbe language is compulsory in schools. Ghana Traditional Council. Only Attorney General can defend OSP Act, Supreme Court rules. UFO urges peace ahead of NPP internal elections. Get a Ghanaian Time, get details of the stories.
Daily Guide. Supreme Court adjourns 4 Tokonu cases indefinitely. U.S. police release Ninoy's prison mugshot. NPP flag bearer race. Survey tapes Ken to win 52%. Sold public lands to be reviewed. That is according to Amakofi-Boa. And the last one I will do here. Baba Jama locks horns with Toure's widow.
Okay. Once he locks horn with Toure's widow, let's do the Custodian newspaper. The Custodian newspaper said no more business under certificate of agency. Minority tells majority. Let's choose Bawumia to reclaim power for MPP Abu-Jinapor to delegate. Ashanti region stands with Bawumia. First Sky exemplify Ghana's excellence, Mahama. Alcohol damages the sperm, threatens male fertility.
Hey!
La. So the custodian newspaper says, hey, I mean, share. Hey, alcohol damages sperm.
Hey,
Moya, you would be chat. I mean, to me, then to be channel man up and
it's a pressure no so.
Now, it's a precious. I've been drinking. I say, now, no more. And you that day, I'm saying, I've been drinking. One of us on the most giants are concerts. Always old tribute to tribute. I say, I've been drinking about. Oh, no more. And it's two ways I've been drinking.
Hey, Asamo.
Na Ghana nkwani won say bia no ni din okura ne de doors blue kiosk green partition well yes sir o tai twitwa bi awon nya bi nwo ye do sika be dwa nankasa ye bo akonyim ne de abehyew
also o do sika nyina rent unya bi nye DNA
nti untumi nye DNA de mesraw bomodi aso obe minimize no jai di on kaso untumi nya do de o de bomodi a ona bo him mo de ageke on dan o e han bonu onyo wo you e hoy e ba ko geje agbo ene ka ba wo sen wo beshka no ba afi DNA de no ba na boni yo for me I hear characters could no lay na keji. So I know there's something funny. I always tell people, look, if you're a lady and you keep doing this chain, you're inculcating different spirits into your system. Okay? And at the same time, certain genes are entering into your system. You go give birth to kids and they have some characters.
Strange characters.
Or you mix different genes in your system. So the custodian, they have warning. So the custodian newspaper gets and get more of the stories there.
Thank you. Let me do the Ghanaian Publisher. I think that will be the last paper for the day. I am coming to serve my people. Baba Jamal, see page 3 for that story. NPP's 2028 hopes rest on Bawumia, that is according to Abu-Jinapor. Minority blast government over transport crisis. These are the stories on the front page of the Ghanaian Publisher this morning.
All right, so, but interestingly, the polls, what do you make of different polls, different angle? You add prophecy to wait, and then you add the polls to wait. Yes, time. You don't really get the head and tail of exactly what they are trying to tell us. But we try to get the voice of Musa Dankwa, who believed that he said he's not shaken. No, he's not shaken at all. He declares ahead of the NPP presidential primary. The executive director of Global Info Analytics expressed unwavering confidence in his organization's polls ahead of the NPP presidential primaries. He claims that he's unshaken despite the various opinions that have been thrown and the prophecies surrounding the election schedule for February 31st. He's not shaken.
He's not shaken.
He believes that Mahmoud Bawumia is the one who is going to win the election. We'll go to the MCR to give us his explanation to this matter, why he's not shaken. But if it's you, will you be shaken?
Of course, no. Because my process is very scientific, it is systematic, right? And so it gives me the confidence that, once the research is done scientifically, systematically, you collected data, your sample size is representative, the sampling technique you used, representative, the size is good, of course you will not be shaking. But if you actually did the work, if you went to the people, right, to collect the data, you don't sit in your room and fabricate stuff and come and spew them out and say you call them posts. You know, Mr. L, me not here, bet me post is here. Bet me a pony, I can say, Mr. L and Bernard Paul put Brian Champon ahead. How many people will confirm? So, but if the thing is systematic, people go out, collect data, they speak to people, the data is representative. You don't just go to, for instance, the people of Bantama are supporting Dr. Bawumia. Yeah. So if you go to Bantama, you go to another constituency, about 3 constituencies, who are all supporting Dr. Bawumia, and you come out to say that your post suggests that Dr. Bawumia will win by 70%. It is not representative. Of course, you have spoken to people, but as people you spoke to were just from one camp. But if you choose representative data, you go to different regions, right? Different supporters, and then your size is representative. Then you can be confident that because of the process that I went through to produce this output, I am sure that my findings will be what? Will be approved, you know. So I am confident even in Musa Danko's post because successively they've been proven to be accurate. In fact, I say not in the general election, in Akwetia most recently, you realize that all his posts have been confirmed. And so it gives some of us, you know, the confidence to trust in his posts than the other ones that we are unable to, or they have not come out to even tell us the process through which they came up with those posts. It is the reason some of us would go for the Global Info Analytics than any other poll. And in fact, Global Info Analytics over prophecy because we cannot confirm prophecy. There is for science it has to be imitated. There is a term for it, I can't remember. So if I go through a process and come up with a finding, Mr. L, if you follow the same procedure, you should be able to come up with the same finding, right? That is what makes the thing scientific and systematic, right? So if that is done, if we follow Global Info Analytics processes and procedure, and we are able to come up with the same findings, and we can say that this thing is what? Scientific and systematic. But prophecy, how do I get the same prophecy, right? It is supernatural. That is why some of us, because we will not be able to, you know, imitate, because we will not be able to also confirm that one. Yes, confirm it.
Maybe we need to go to God.
Yeah, then we would need to go to God.
We need to go to God to speak to us to also be able to confirm this particular one. Yeah. But let's take a listen to Musa Dankwa and his argument on why he's not shaking. And we want to see that all his polls are accurate. And he says, Bawumia. Let's take a listen.
On 48% of the vote, and then you have Kennedy Japan on 25% of the vote, and then you have Brian Achampon on 6% of the vote, and then you have Dr. Yao Educhum 1%, Kwapna Ajay Japan near 0, and then 21% were not disclosing their voting intention for one reason or the other. So this is the headline poll, which means that the decision or the outcome of the 2026 primaries would depend on where the 21% move to based on what we have done. Now, we look at the regional numbers as well. When it comes to regional numbers, we've seen that Bawumia is leading in Ahafo, it's leading in Ashanti region, leading in Bono East, but Kennedy is leading in Central region. Bawumia leads in Eastern region, he leads in Greater Accra, he leads in Northeast, he leads in Northern region, he leads in Oti, Savannah he leads, Upper East he leads, Upper West he leads. Volta region, Kennedy is leading in Volta region. Western region, Bawumia is leading, and Western North, Bawumia is leading. So these are the regional numbers from the headline polls we just give to you. However, we did an approach where we tried to find from delegates who they thought their friends are voting for. So when we ask them, who do you think your friend delegates are voting for in this premise, 62% of them were telling us that they believe that their friends are voting for Bawumia. 32% of them believe their friends are voting for Kennedy Agyapong. 5% believe their friends are voting for Brian. And 1% believe that their friends are voting for Educhum. So you can see a bit of correlation between what they think their fellow friends are doing and the numbers we put out there in order of pecking. In particular, the number for Brian Achampong is largely the same, and that of Educhum too the same. In the case of Kennedy, he is doing about 7% or above what the head-NAP poll numbers are saying, and Bawumia is doing a lot more higher than that. Now, with this insight and other information that we had, we have to make a prediction as to how we expect the race would end. And on that prediction, we are saying that Bawumia is likely going to be on 57%, plus or minus 3% margin of error. Kennedy is going to be on 28%, plus or minus 3% margin of error. Brian Achampong, which is quite high number here, is doing 13%, plus or minus 3% margin of error. And Dr. Educhum, 2%, plus or minus margin of error. And so is Kobna Agyapong. Now, what you will see is that Brian was on 13%, or is on 13%. In the headline poll, he is on 6%. So what has happened between the headline poll and the predictions? The predictions, remember, will use as much information as we have in the headline poll, together with other information that we have. What we've seen is a dramatic shift in the race, not from Bawumia, but from Kennedy to Brian Achampong. In the last few days, 4 days gone by, we have seen people who are moving from Kennedy to Brian Achampong. Now, the reason why you see Brian Achampong, despite being 6% on the model, is got to 13%.
All right, so we had the explanation given by Musa Adankwa with regards to the polls he made. And if you could see Musa's Adankwa polls systematically covers the entire 16 regions. And also that gives you an important information that Bawumia versus Ken versus Brian. More likely, these three persons are spearheading. So we're going to see the third person in between the five, which is Bawumia, the third coming out, being followed by the first, and then the second. In that order. Yeah. Now, if you should come to the APL, the African policy lens, their polls also finds that if you look at the distribution table, you have female, that is 23.9% of female that were screened, and male is 76.1%, more than 3/4 were male in this polls. The findings, the age distribution is between 18 to 24 years, that's 0.5%, against 25 to 35 years, that's 20.8%. Then beneath it, you have the 36 to 45 years, that's 38.2%, followed by the 33.6%, 46 to 60 years. And above 60 is only 7%.
So these are the age distribution
of the respondent, which you can find in their, how do you call it? You find in their electoral album that tells you the distribution of the number of people expected to vote. Now, the levels that was educational level completed by the delegates, we have the formal education, which is 4.5%. The primary is 5.5%. And the middle or JHS or SHS is 43.8%. Secondary is 26.4%. And then 19.8% is for post-secondary. And they have also given a leap to Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia of almost over 61%. If you look at the findings they have done, they of course said, okay, we did almost all the 276 constituency, that is 16 regions. With regards to what Musa Danquatu has done, it tells you that now there's some direction. But this morning, you could see different findings has also come in, putting Kennedy at 52%. So it makes the dynamics quite interesting for us. If you look at the two graphs, the one we showed on the screen and this one on the analysis board, tells you what we should be looking at. Who is telling us the exact formation? Because if you look, Musa said he is not moved. He believes all his findings. And if you look at all the 3 findings he did before the final one, all points to
the same direction.
The same direction. Okay. Then we've got the few ones also coming in this morning. So it makes the whole thing. ISIS some BBB.
Yes. So you remember the term I was looking for is replicability. Right. That is the ability of the research to be reproduced. So Musa Danquatu will outline the processes they went through. Or we went to this number of regions. We spoke to this number of people. They are within these age groups. You know, these constituencies and what have you. And if you conduct research detailing the processes that you went through, so that if Mr. L will go through the same process, then he should be able to reproduce the same and come up with the same result. And that is what Musa Danquatu, that is the strength of his approach, of his process. The fact that he details out how he went about it, his sample size is representative, you know, the sampling technique he used, you know, not just concentrating on Dr. Bawumia's camp and coming to tell us that Dr. Bawumia will win. That is why some of us will go for his post. And of course, prophecy cannot be, you cannot replicate prophecy unless, I don't know how you do it. Of course, you can tell God that if indeed you spoke to this prophet and it is true, then speak to me as well. That is possible. But, you know, how many people will be able to replicate prophecies? That is why some of us, it is not that we don't believe in prophecies, but the fact that it is difficult to replicate. And so we'll go for science, you know, with regards to some of these things. Not everything. It's not everything you can explain by science. But for something like electoral outcomes and, you know, those things, you can do the scientific approach. You can take the scientific approach over the non-scientific, right? So for me, I am looking at anything within Global Info Analytics results. And there's a possibility that there may even be a runoff per what the poll suggests. If Dr. Bawumia gets anything less than 50%, you know, I stand to be corrected. But I think that for you to win, you should have 50% plus 1 vote. If that is the case, if Dr. Bawumia gets anything less than 50%, then there will be a runoff between himself and, according to Global Info Analytics, the first runner-up, that will be Honorable Kennedy Agyapong. And for me, it will be interesting. I think the decider will be Brian. and I can confidently tell you that if it gets to that time, Dr. Bawumia will win. Because I see Brian supporters going for Dr. Bawumia than Honorable. I see Brian himself, you know, throwing his weight behind Dr. Bawumia than going for the Honorable Kennedy Agyapong. Well, so it will be an interesting race.
An interesting time awaits. If you look at the MPP presidential primaries, the heating up. Seriously, we're looking at Bawumia versus Ken and Brian. Musa has shared his thoughts. We'll bring you the African polls as well. They've also shared your thoughts with the 3 main contenders, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, Kennedy Agyapong, Dr. Brian Achampong. Dr. Bawumia is currently, from all the polls we've seen, currently is the most, in most polls, with 57 to 61% of the votes, followed by Ken, 28% of the votes. Brian, 5 to 13, which is not doing, he's not doing so badly at all. However, the recent Sanity African polls gave Kennedy Agyapong 52%. So that is where the dynamics has also changed.
When they come up with some of these polls, they should make themselves available for us to speak with them. Like Musa Danquatu. So this morning would have called him. How did you come up with this finding?
We did this with Musa last night, and he gave us the explanation.
Fantastic.
Now we're trying to get the Dr. Via. I tried as we could to get him this morning to speak to us, because he gave Ken 57%.
Okay.
Now, African Sanity has also given, as of yesterday in the night, by 7 p.m., has also given a Ken 52%, citing strong backing from delegates under 40.
Okay.
And the female delegates supporting. So if you look at it from that angle, then you say, okay, they might be right. There's some female, because even from the newspapers, we saw some market women rooting for Ken. But the question is, are they delegates?
So probably this will do us some help this morning.
Right.
We look at the distribution, the educational level of the delegates.
So let me pull the educational level of the delegates up. For you to look at it. So we have the middle and the GHS and the SHS. That is 43.8%. That's the highest. And then followed by the secondary, the SHS, which is 26.4, and then post-tertiary, 19.8. Primary is 5.5, and then the normal distribution is no and normal. Formal education is 4.5%.
Yeah, so from where I sit, and I stand to be corrected again, please, I'm just doing my own analysis based on the little I have read. I think that the more educated delegates and the establishment, the elites within the NPP, will go for Dr. Bawumia.
That's right.
And then those in the informal sector, the boys are bred, the party kind of people, those with less, who have not done much in terms of education, are likely to go for Kennedy Japan. So if we have about, I'm looking at 43.8% of delegates who have middle, GHS, SHS, I think most of those people will go for Kennedy Japan. Yeah. While those with post-secondary, they are also likely to go for Dr. Bawumia. Yeah, so, I mean, still now, no fear delegates. Anything can happen on the day. But still, I think Global Info Analytics...
you think they stand tall among all this thing we get it?
Yeah.
Because African Sanity Africa gives Dr. Kennedy Akupreko 52%, citing strong backing from delegates under 40 and female delegates. And it shows Bawumia's campaign has also focused on experience as a vice president and his policy initiative.
Yeah.
Why, if you look at Kennedy, has been emphasizing his business background and ability to connect with the grassroots supporters. So this is what he's also championing. Running business and running national affairs as two different streams of things.
I said that yesterday.
and Dr. Brian Acheampong, on the other hand, has been gaining traction, particularly in the eastern region, where that is backyard, and has been touted as a potential spoiler.
A spoiler of what or for what?
If Ken is going for my business background,
he is also a businessman.
He's also a businessman, so they see him as okay. If you look at it from a different angle, then if it's business, so business plus business, there will be that confrontation between the two. It means there are people that will buy into Brian's idea of business, his way of doing it, his models of operandi, and then others will look at Ken's own and see, okay, which one cuts which. And that is where the spoiler thing comes in. About say votes.
But so on say a PhD.
On say a PhD.
Dr. Bawumia also say
no. You see, channel.
Yeah.
The reason why most people say let's go for Bawumia is that already, if for not to try election now, we just on 4 points. 4 point something million.
Yeah.
So this is the wisdom by which people say, okay, you try the view. Okay. Probably. Maybe this time no way from agitated ones, the policies on the band would go. Okay. But that is also far-fetched. Because you can also buy into it.
Yeah.
It's not everybody that will want to go with that. But in terms of marketability, I feel like he stands tall.
Yeah.
One thing people are looking at is accepted the outcome before even. And some within the party are not happy with that.
Yeah.
What you see. And Nunti will want to fight that. But the point is that if I know I've lost election and I love this country so much, why should I wait for the country to bend?
Yeah.
Because you could see the tension.
Yeah.
In order to even cry or accept it, you could look at the things that happen. So you could just imagine, say, if he's waiting, so many things would have been read into it.
Yeah.
And also another inch catch which could give him a leverage.
Yeah.
So he wants peace, he wants to see this country intact.
Yeah.
So Ghanaians are some way. You can predict. They can swim at any point in time.
Precisely.
Especially those 1 million who decide the votes can always cause that.
And so that is what I am looking at.
Yes.
The 1 million who decide the vote, Mr. L, in between Dr. Bawumia and Honorable Kennedy Japan, who is more likely to draw from that 1 million? So what is the demography of that 1 million? Are there people who are more like I have said, the educated folks are more likely to go for Dr. Bawumia?
Now, the people who really understand the dynamics of what the economy is all about, and people will not look at the lenses and say, that is why the last time when you asked me a question as to whether he should take the blame, you don't take the blame. What you do is a collective thing, but you point in there, accept some fault, and then apologize and work on yourself and go. That is politics. So you can appeal to the emotions of the people. But if you begin to take the shots,
everything,
it's going to sink you up. Okay? You might be the driver's seat. You may not be the person leading it. It doesn't give you the leverage to accept. There are things that went wrong. Yes. Accept it. If I get opportunity, I'll work on it. Simple. You bring the hearts of the people, the emotions of the people, you appeal to them, you be calm. And that is okay, let's try him. Okay, we'll try him because before the election, and this is one person who has also come out that if I don't win, that is Ken Scam. If I don't, I will not accept. If I were in that position, I wouldn't have accepted the results. I wouldn't have thrown in the towel. So they have too early. So they have another group that sides with that. Okay.
But do they have a point? Look at the magnitude of the defeat.
You see, in politics, people,
Mr. L,
they don't care.
Instance,
they don't care about you.
I know. So for instance, in 2000, it would have been wise to do that if the results were
so close to call.
Like 2008, where we had 47, 49.
About 2 runoffs.
Wait, so 47, 49. You can't say, oh, no. But for this 2024, where one was somewhere around 56%, and the other was around 41.
And the point is that if you look at 2024, 2016, there's nothing for you to be able to talk about it.
Exactly.
2016 was hands down. You can't do anything about it.
You can't do anything about it.
The same thing happening.
Whether you accept it early or not, I mean, it's defeat. In fact, so why the political parties, do they think that the citizens, we have independent groups who also conduct their own, who also do their own collating and all of that?
The point, you see, I think what happened 2016 by 7 p.m. Then I was in studio.
The results were already known. The winner was already known.
And I gave snipes because we can't call it. So okay, this is what has
based
happened.
On the provisional
results. What we have as a team, this is what has happened. The same thing happened in 2024. By 9 p.m., I told the guys, this is the figures. Because we have our data. And we have guys in all the polling stations across the country. So they were able to give us correct and accurate data. So I wasn't surprised when we started doing snipes from the various camps. I remember somebody called me, one of the guys from, I don't want to mention names, they called and said, Mininyana. I called and said, I'm you, Akose. What he has the same thing I did in 2016. So when it comes to those dynamics, I love him for one thing. You could look at the tension for people who have been out of power for 8 years. And how
hungry they are.
That's the point. And secondly, the Ghanaian trend has looked at some patterns that no matter what, you start losing followers after your second year, your second term. There was no way. And there's a new face coming on the block against an old face.
Against an experienced
face. So definitely Ghanaians will go for the latter. And that is what actually happened. And you could see the ripples of some of the things if we have waited for, let's say, another 48 hours to come, or the 72 hours waiting for the EC. What would have happened? The ripples alone of what happened tells you the kind of thing we would have witnessed, which I don't think you and I would have been seated here today. So sometimes we need to call a spade a spade. He is one of the peaceful president we had was the late John Mills. I mean, taking over from Kufuor, we had some transition there. But I think that violent nature of our thing is beginning to minimize. I think one of the things we've not done well is how to deal with our grassroots when elections are won. Chasing people out of public places and stuff is something that we need to work on. Now, if you away from that, if you look at the primaries, which is shuttle, the stakes, I can tell you, are very, very high.
And I am even surprised the stakes are high in this election. Honestly,
the reason is that 2028 can be anybody's game.
Oh yeah, that is
it. Could be it could shrink to any
the other team is also coming up with a new face.
So it could be anybody. So this is anybody can win it. It doesn't matter your track record, ABC. Anybody can win it. So everybody. So that's why making the stake very high in this contest coming on Saturday.
It means that nobody is seeking re-election. No candidate, not the political party, but no candidate. Of course, the NDC will be seeking election, but no candidates. It means that the NDC will also be fielding a new, But for me, the truth of the matter is that I don't think Dr. Bawumia should absorb much of the blame.
Like I told you the last time. No.
Because
it's neither here nor there. And I can give you instances where he's thrown in certain towels because of one X or B. I can give you those examples. It happens in every political party. Where you have certain elements who wouldn't want you to pray.
That is the thing. And you see, it is difficult for the purpose of unity and cohesion and the strength of the party and all of that peace. He cannot come out to say some of this. And that is why his campaigners, those who speak for him, like Abu Zinab, I think Abu has been fantastic. I listened to him on the sister station, absolutely fantastic. I was wondering where he's been all this while.
The point is that some of them will have to wait till the last to do the bend.
I mean, Abu has been
listen
fantastic.
To Abai Fakabo.
Abu said that. I mean, this whole argument of being a business person, Nkrumah was never he never run any business. How many presidents who have caused change, great change, significant changes in our world were business people, were entrepreneurs.
John Mills
was an academia. So it is not about, it is putting the right people there. It is not about being a business leader. And I said, where has this man been all this while? Abu Zinab is a fantastic communicator. And I think that some of these people, the things that Dr. Bawumia will not be able to say, they should be able to say it. So, that Dr. Bawumia,
So now you can start calling the cylinders, firing the cylinders right after this election. Then you see that things will start unfolding. You get a point. Now, the scarcity, I was trying to analyze the whole thing, why they went for the top bottom. And I realized that, okay, if they don't do that approach, the possibility, the probability that after they go through the grassroots, people's conscience can change at that point. That chance of getting him in will be quite difficult. But now, if you're able to get him in now, it means that he can also now play the cards where he can get his people to fill certain positions. So you see how the whole strategy is. So you strategically, as others have complained that it doesn't work in any jurisdiction, but there's always a first time to anything. So let's see how the dynamics will pan out.
I mean, Dr. Bawumia is better than we experience in I was in the National Theatre in 2016. One of his lectures, Mr. L. Look, I just couldn't sit down. The man was absolutely fantastic. And I mean, I didn't know much. But the kind of things the man was saying, I said this man is more than we saw in 26 in the last 8 years of Akufo-Addo's administration. Yes, he was the vice president. Akufo-Addo says he brought him in to change the economy and all of that. But I can tell you that he wasn't given the opportunity to work.
I can say it verbatim.
Yeah.
I saw something that happened that has to do with the paperless port.
Look at all these initiatives.
You know the paperless port thing?
Yeah.
If he was allowed, I don't think all these discrepancies there, the NPS that we want to do would have been a problem.
Yeah.
It could have been part of the rollout.
Yeah.
Okay, so
the gold for oil
the gold for reserves.
Gold for reserves.
He said, look, let's
all the man's ideas.
Yes, let's go into the gold for reserves so that we can amass a lot of gold. When the going gets tough, we can look at the markets and sell gold to get in the foreign exchange so that we can stabilize our economy. That things that the old folks in there didn't give the space
for him to operate.
And I saw a meeting, I was privy to a meeting where he has to call the Ghanaian team that was working on the paperless software, which they started. Then another person go behind the scene to go and grant another company some $2 million. Well, at this morning, $2 million to bring that company in to take off the Ghanaian company, the young Ghanaian companies who are doing. Most of these guys have now moved to Canada and they're working there. So we letting go our expertise on the IT field. And this paperless thing, so he threw in the towel. I don't understand my people. And that was where I felt the pain for him. I don't understand my people. If they don't want me to work, and I don't want to talk about this paperless thing, I wash my hand. And you could see the telling on the face of the young man at the time. I was just sitting in the corner as a journalist, a cover to get my stories out there. And I was like, wow. And it's refreshing. Now look, irrespective of whichever country belongs to, we've got brilliant people. Brilliant people. And there's one person I've always said that if the current administration to take a second look at him and see that it is not just a rhetoric, it's not just a book talk, it's Dr. Abu Sakara. When it comes to agriculture, okay, he's trying to do brilliant things up north there, some irrigation thing. He needs guarantees. It's about time we move away from giving money to people, but let's guarantee and make sure that the right things are done and put people in there to do the check and balances. Fantastically, he would do well. But none of these governments will want to do that because they see him to be an opponent. If we keep doing this, I don't think we want to develop this country. Irrespective of your background. Look at people like Prince Amwabin, a military who became a business person in the banking sector. And look at the things he did. Okay, so you could bring all those heads together. So look, so for me, I'm so excited when I saw that the people that were picked as advisors financially on the board from different backgrounds, from different parties, put them together. These are Ghanaians. We're not talking party now. Once election is over, whoever is elected becomes the leader of the nation. We take it that the few that selected, the number that decided that this person should lead us, we all give the person the support. When we all rally together, as we're doing now, because there's a goodwill for this current administration. Okay. We can say that, okay, they came in, the normal politics will happen. People will say things. But at the end of the day, who are people that can help us to be able to drive the economy? If you look at something that is happening, you know there's this volley bridge thing. Have you heard of that conversation from the current administration to be able to link about 6-7 regions together at a particular point for economic viability to grow the ecosystem when it comes to our businesses we do across the upper, the north, the Volta North, the Bono areas, put them together at one point where you can have the layout.
Those are strong.
Those are strong agri areas. Yeah. Now, if we want to develop it, we have people with the know-how. I did mention Abu Sakar. If he didn't know how, support him. He said he wants to go into it. Support him. I keep saying that if we look at soya alone, it could have changed this economy. Salt can change this economy.
Yeah.
There are basic things that cash cow for us. Not necessarily. So we can be reserving our gold. When the fluctuation doesn't come in, we have a lot of money sitting down there.
Yeah.
Then we go and do the policy. So we just hope and pray that the delegate will speak.
Of course, but of course, let's also make the point that Kennedy Japan is also a strong candidate.
It's a very strong candidate. He has a good character
of him,
which is great. No, you see, the point is that look, all the five have their strengths. Okay, that is why I'm saying whoever wins, all of them should be able to rally behind whoever leads and give that idea, that support, that role they could play. Because I want to see a different Ghana. I want to see a Ghana that if Edwiji tells me he's going to the north, I have faith he will go and come. Without me going on my knee and praying. I know that God will take him and bring him. Because the roads are safe, the rails are safe, 110% secured, security-wise, everything is working top-notch. I have that strength. I want to see a Ghana where if you say you're going to the hospital, got a mortality rate when it comes to childbearing, or even when it comes to issues that has to do with stigma against people with mental health. Now we've been able to talk that now we're having wellness centers in our hospitals that people can walk in. I want to see the Ghana where when the pregnant woman is going, you're excited that she'll go and come back. Not we putting our hands on our heads. And people will have to be praying. Pastors will have to be praying. Bishops will have to be praying. Making calls 24/7. That as long as Zion travailed, he brought forth. We have to now be quoting scriptures. But we want to see the Ghana that God has put in our hand. Because this country belongs to all of us. And we all have a part to play. As long as you are in Ghana, you're a stakeholder. And you need to play your role very, very well to ensure that this country becomes the beacon. That we've always hoped it to become the beacon of Africa. Not the, we will have those skirmishes, yes. The fact that I don't support your party or I don't belong to your party doesn't mean I shouldn't let Ghana work. No. That is a level we need to, I think we'll have to come to. Even twins from the same womb may not agree. But at the end of the day, they work together. So let's work together, let's work it together. Because if you look at the three people, who are the front runners? It's like two have been narrowed to the back. Two have been narrowed to the back. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia focuses on digitization, economic reform, modernization of public services, and his emphasis is on unity, progress, highlighting his experience as a vice president. That is his key. Now, Kennedy prioritizes job creation, economic independence, anti-corruption measures, and he is known for his bold and straightforward approach. Now, when it comes to Dr. Brian Acheampong, his emphasis is on unity, food security, infrastructure development, job creation. He is positioning himself as a servant leader with experience in business and government. So these are the traces. Now, the latest polls, like we're doing this morning, give Dr. Bawumia's campaign is confident, citing the lead in most polls and endorsement from over 60 NPP MPs. Now, Kennedy Acheampong's campaign also remained optimistic, pointing to his strong support among the youth and grassroots delegates. Dr. Acheampong's campaign is also confident, emphasizing his ability to unify the party and empower the grassroots members. So these are the three front runners. Now, if you look at the peace pact, the NPP has a peace pact in place, but tension may rise in the primary as the primary approaches. And we've started seeing the tension. Some aspirants have expressed concerns about the intimidation and unfair practices, but most have also pledged to respect the outcome. The party's General Secretary has urged aspirants to maintain peace and what? Unity. It is not just a rhetoric. It shouldn't be a mouth diarrhea.
Yeah.
It should be something tangible, and it should be intentional from the various aspirants. The implications are very big if they don't go by that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's very big. So I believe that you can also give your input on 053715-863 and 053715-8638 is the numbers. You can also join us. We're talking about, just before we go for that break, the president is expected to break ground this year for construction of a long-anticipated Voli Bridge, a landmark infrastructure project that promises to transform transport connectivity along Ghana's eastern corridor. The confirmation was given by the Minister for Roads and Highway Governance, Kwame Agbodza, following his high-level discussion with officials of Japan International Cooperation Agency. So they're going to support us to have this bridge done. According to the road minister, preparation have advanced to a point where the government is optimistic about commencing the physical works within the year, subject to the final technical and financial arrangement. And it's a 10 billion infrastructure drive. Yeah. A component of the president's big push. And everybody want to see. And if you go to the Eastern Corridor, funny enough, some of the roads, some are 75% complete. Some are like 82% complete. Some are like 60-something complete. So why don't we just finish it up? Close it up. It make traveling from the north to the south less than 5-6 hours. You should be in there instead of doing the 12-13 hours drive through the Ashanti Eastern corridors and go there. 10
billion. So okay. So the proposed Volivo Bridge set to complete the Vital Eastern Corridor Road is a key project listed in President Mohammed's 10 billion Big Push initiative aimed at significantly upgrading Ghana's infrastructure. We hope that the Japan,
the JICA,
will be able to support us too.
But I'm happy because JICA has
across the Volta River.
Across the Volta River, and then the JICA has reaffirmed that commitment. So I can't wait to see this happen within the year, and it will bring even tourism to our ecosystem. It will support it. I mean, there's a modern and multi-functional approach to infrastructure development, and we can't wait to see that happening to us. And that brings us to exactly 8:30 a.m. We're going for a break. When we return, there's more conversation coming up. And also, don't forget that yesterday we had a lot of series of messages coming in, especially with the cervical cancer conversation. So we decided to look at it again, but this time around in the mental health aspect of the stigma that comes with the cervical cancer, that people wouldn't want to go to the hospitals. At 9 a.m. we'll be having that conversation. But you can call us now. You can join us in this conversation, 0537158638, on the newspaper review, 0537158638. You can call us. Reach me afraid. You can also add your voices on this matter on the 0537158638 is the numbers. Reach me afraid. See ya. Ni atwetwe nkomo afa nkomo ya bobo so tew nsam ya bobo so free MPP. And someone ekoso akendi for be miensa polls and also why chale when be bloom at the end of the day. But and also share also the atmosphere the prophecies being so amba. You see President Kennedy Japan. Particular prophet will push it. Bernard Becker has all your campaign.
Yes, I say we maybe a campaign or
it's also why you ensure my one Sunday I could break here or just some few minutes on that. To which me friends is here. Why not travel 0537158638? What was Sanya P? What were MPP no niano? Yeah, I'm a camp say what were info analytic Sanity Africa. I'm a polls come who care Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, Eko Ke Kennedy Japan. One na Eko Mehuni Jake Bafi split decision about a runoff. BP ete no. Table more joint. Obanyo Bonka Wagbasa de Labin and Walkway. The way forward for both parties. Why do we need a strong opposition? Apart from that, we'll touch on some of the stories in various newspapers. I mean, I think the running one has been the MPP polls in Bano, Niji Saturday, right? Friday, Saturday, 31st. The one na money by lead MPP ka about for Oshiki. And no Saturday, I'm for Oshiki. I'm a Jim. I'm here. Yellow Niba Kamebaya 2028 elections. What we know, what no way, Sunny few, what when no walkway, Jaika ni Kwenewa, the president ni Anyafi Japan International Corporation, Amame here Abawa ni Wanyofi Eastern Corridor Bridge from the Volta Lake. I mean, it's going to be a very huge work that is being done there. Well, boom, how one we've had a lot of conversation whilst waiting for your call. You can also send us. We can have more conversation on this, and then we go for the groundbreaking ceremony that is looking at the Mahama Sells Accra Reset as a panacea for African rebounds. That happened. That was last week in Switzerland, where he sold Ghana to the rest of the world. And it's also me the wide about 053-158-638. The volume of your TV sets above from. But you know, one significant thing that has happened, were you experiencing some difficulties with a Momo?
Yeah. For the past few days.
Yeah.
It's been very bad. Make withdrawals and
or even do some transfers.
Yeah.
Unless you use the app, and those who are not using app
I
are
don't
more.
use the app. I don't use the app.
There were more. But mobile money, Momo transaction in Ghana surged to a record of 518.4 billion in December 2025, underscoring the growing dominance of digital payments in the country's financial system. And according to the latest Bank of Ghana summary of economic and financial data, interestingly, I think we're doing well with our digital system. We're doing well with that. And I can't wait to see how we'll be able to channel this into getting more people. And the city began depreciation, 2026 with a 4% depreciation against the major currency. The fiscal discipline strengthens Ghana's debt stock stands at 644 billion cedis. But Baba Jama Assembly, if you want me to tell you,
me, I'll be surprised if
he will
win the election.
He will win it.
I doubt.
You know, he contested with this Chwari.
Yeah.
And the difference between them was not that much.
In the primaries.
Wow. Yeah. So he's claiming that people are calling for him to come. I don't know.
And the widow is also saying that people are calling for her to come. Of course, that's what everyone will say. Well.
Meanwhile, do you know what the widow is calling for? He's requesting for a virtual vet.
Why? Is she not around?
Hajia Amina Adam, the widow of the late Ayahuasca East MP Nasa Chwari, requested to be vetted virtually ahead of the 7th February National Democratic Congress parliamentary primary. This was disclosed by the Greater Accra Regional Secretary of the NDC, Theophilus Tetecha, yesterday. Hajia is currently observing either in a 4-month period of a widowhood solution, so she can come out.
But how will she campaign? Or she has people, she has a team campaigning for her. So she's not going to step out for campaign. But it's going to be a difficult election for her.
She'll face 4 other contestants in the race, including Ghana's High Commissioner to Nigeria, Baba Ahmed Jamal. Jamal Muhammad Ahmed Baba. And Baba wants Ayahuasca. From Akwetia, he wants Ayahuasca.
I mean, but this is not the first time. You remember Aaron Michael Kwe Jr.
Michael Kwe, yeah.
He was ambassador to India.
To India. And they also
came out to contest
for the same ayahuasca.
No. Domi
Kwabenya.
Yeah.
Why? Okay. Well, let's see how it turns out to be. So you can also share your thoughts with us on 0530158638. The numbers. You can join us. We've got some few more minutes. We're going for a quick break. When we return, we'll start having conversation in the studios here. More conversation coming up later on the show. So stay with us. Yeah, call Abba. If you care about Sunday bar, no they share. Channel. All right, so welcome back from this to the studios of MBN TV. It's a morning focus. We're looking at issues that has come up. We've just gone by as the newspaper review segment of the program, where we look at it. Now, let's look at this particular story. Accra must be heard. Garmanche on education minister. It says Accra must be heard. In Ghana, Ghana is Gahe. You understand?
I understand.
I say Ghana for so omote in crime. It's like they have to hear of Accra being the nation's capital.
Okay.
And you can't take the language out of the capital. So these are the things we want to see, and we'll be getting that instead with the sector minister talking with the government chair, Niteku Chulu. The second, and all this boils down on issue that has to do with the Ga language. You know, when the AI thing came first, when I also saw, I said,
what is the Ga language?
this thing is going to be a baby.
Yeah.
But I felt that, at a point I felt that, okay, why those particular languages again? Then later, a rejoinder has to come in for the Ga language to be used as an indigenous, one of the languages which the government is pushing to see that agenda works. And I think that it beholds on all of us to make sure that, you know, at a point, I don't know whether it still has changed with the schools where in the jurisdiction you find yourself, you have to, part of the curriculum is the language there as part of the curriculum.
Yeah.
I don't know how we've been able to achieve something with it.
Yeah.
And I think that is what now the GAM states, the Dangwe Council is also looking at. Why don't we push it up and make it a core subject matter for people to write and read?
Yeah, it's true. I mean, Mr. L, this is a very sensitive subject, right? When talking about language and culture and all of that. But I think that if you want your language to be spoken widely, you must make sure that it is spoken. You yourself, you are speaking it. Yeah, Accra is the capital, so we have a lot of people coming here. But it doesn't mean we should adopt the settlers. I mean, we should adopt other languages. We must speak the... I am an Ewe, right? I am an Ewe, I am an Ekuapem and Fanti. So my mom is Ekuapem and Fanti. My dad is Ewe. But we didn't have the opportunity to live among any of these people.
You left in the Gan states.
So we lived in Gan State. I lived in Oti. You know, so I speak some then it was Volta North, now Oti region. So I speak some Guan languages. And I lived in Chebi. So I did Chi in school. My Achim is good. When I speak Chi, you would think that, but I'm not Achim. But I speak, and it is because when I was in school in Chebi, you will be forced to, you will have to learn the Chi. You have to write the Chi. So all my siblings speak Chi. They write Chi, they read Chi. But none of us can read Ewe. None of us can write Ewe. And it is because we didn't live there, so we didn't have the opportunity. But we have a council who live in the Volta region. They can read. I was listening to, I think he was a one-time former pro-vice chancellor of the University of Cape Coast. I think he's Professor Odu or something, I'm not too sure. The man speaks impeccable Ewe, and he writes. And it's because he stayed there. So if we make it a culture, a norm, that if you are living in a particular region, you must read and write, or you must learn that language, then our languages will not extinct. Otherwise, it will extinct. So if I am in Ghana, if I am in Accra, why should I be learning Chi in Accra, in schools in Accra? Once the school is based in Accra, we should be teaching Ga like we did in Chebi. Right? There were no ever teachers in Chebi. They were all tree teachers. So I was supposed to learn the tree, write and read tree. I read and write tree. In fact, I have a tree Bible. If there is something in the English is not explaining to me well, I take my tree Bible and read. But I can't read everywhere. I can't write everywhere. It's because I didn't stay there. So the region where I stayed, they imbibe their language and culture into me. I'm not saying that I can't speak everywhere. I speak everywhere because my dad taught me, right? But writing and reading, I can't do. So for the Ga language, we need to make sure that every school that is within the jurisdiction of Ga land, they should be studying, the students in the school should be studying the Ga language. It should be a norm. But one thing that can facilitate this is the availability of teachers. Are we training more teachers who can teach Ga? Are we training more teachers who can, teach the Ga language, the Adan language?
You know, there was this NGO I met at the Numwa Palace, where they paid a courtesy call on the Numwa chief, a voluntary organization training people to be teachers. So if I want to teach Ga, they could help raise you up. Or they have teachers already who have been trained teachers, but they have difficulties, and they take them through the rudiments and then the language, so you can teach to read and to write and to connect with other people. I think for me, it's a good thing if we all get involved and say, look, you can be linguistic, you can learn other languages along the line. I speak lots of language, not just the Ghanaian language, but I speak other foreign languages as well. So there's nothing like learning languages, but how do we project
it?
The language where we find ourselves is what the focus to be.
Precisely.
So once we begin to push it, and becomes, because others feel that a particular language is being forced on everybody.
But if you don't speak your language,
that's what I'm saying. So, but if we don't
deliberately
and intentionally make it a focus to project it and to speak it, other languages will dwarf you. And that's exactly
language extincts. That is it. In fact, Greek and all of that, Latin used to be an international language,
but now
like
it has
English.
fizzled. Now,
who speaks Latin now?
Now people are speaking Hausa. People are speaking French, Spanish, and
Chinese.
People are speaking this language because you need to project the language. And I think that is what I've seen with the Ga Traditional Council. How do we project the language?
How to project the language?
So everybody will need to get involved with it. How do we project it? Where do we aspire to see this language get to? What should be the rudiment in getting people to accept and know that this is our way of doing things?
Great.
So that when you find yourself in that jurisdiction, you know that exactly, at least for nothing, I should be able to speak the greetings and stuff like that to be able to find my way out.
I mean, I can speak some basic Ga. I'm not that bad. And I think language is a tool. That's what a lot of people, like I said, I like my dad for one thing. He made sure he taught us their way. In fact, you should be able to speak their way. And even though we didn't stay in our communities, we are able to speak their way. We can't read and write, but the speaking there, my dad will speak away with you. In fact, I used to tease my last sibling. My dad will speak in away, she'll be speaking tree. There's no way my dad will come and speak the tree.
You continue with the language. He wants you to pick it up.
He wants you to pick it up. So we should be speaking the language. That is,
it has to be intentional. And then we project the language. And then we have to be excited about the language.
Mr. L,
why don't you be excited about it?
Parents are now speaking English with little children. Look, in the next 30 years, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, most Ghanaian languages are going to be extinct. And it is because parents are not speaking. Language is passed down, right? Language is just like any other cultural practice. Language is passed down. So no oba no ka brofo kwa akola wa wo no foforo onka one ne nka Hausa one ne nka Igbe meanwhile you are Everman one ne nka Gan meanwhile you are Gan one ne nka Fanti meanwhile you are Fanti and na brofo kwa na yeka. I'm not saying English is bad, but look, akola no once or ko school kwa there obesua brofo no. So you are kasanga so language no oba fia one ne nka
No.
Okay. Obia wiega.
No vernacular is allowed.
No, I mean that's in the home too. Look, a clue of your me do for back. Can was say? Okay, man, wiega. Only your country no monte. Our languages. I'm very particular about languages, local languages, and I'm telling you that. The Europeans don't learn our Chi. They don't learn. Look, the Germans don't learn Igbe. They speak their language. Right, so you too, okay, obie. Let me speak the broken guy. Awiega, one oban monkechi no. Ukle ovia omi dofagba can was say so that they will also pass it down. I am saying that for me, my children, it's a must. They must speak they must.
The point is very simple.
You know, look, the complaint we are complaining is because we are not passing the language down. So a generation is coming. Look, we can go to the schools.
End up losing all the.
And biani ne beka brofo. Obia all the kids they are speaking English. How are you? It's good. Look, they should learn the English, but I'm saying that they should also learn their first language. Linguists will tell you that if you are good, those who are good at their local language, they are able to speak other languages better. It is easier for them to learn other languages. But if you are not good at how can you give birth and decide that you won't teach your child your language? When the language starts extincting, it's not the making of anybody. It is because you are not speaking. And so let's encourage. Look, Mr. L, I always commend our grandmothers for one thing. Those who are in the market. I go to market a lot. Where you're saying, Obeka, they won't speak the trio. They will speak the go to the typical Nungwa market. Oh, country no account brofo. So they are telling you that you have to also learn their language.
Yes, the point is that it's very important because the Ghana's language and culture are rich and diverse. That is why we are diverse. Mm-hmm. We are distinct from other African nations.
Yeah.
We are different because of our language and our culture, reflecting the country over 70 ethnic groups. We have over 70 ethnic groups. English is official language, no doubt about it. I love English. I love to speak English. But many Ghanaians speak multiple languages. I speak multiple languages.
Like myself.
Ewe, Dabani, Hausa. So get yourself. You know, English is widely spoken. But we need to be intentional to be able to promote our language. I mean, Gamanche is a traditional rule of the Ghana. Historically, it shouldn't be pushed. The individuals will have to be looking at it. But to project the Ghana language, this is what I think we should be doing. Several initiatives are underway, I know. The Ghana Traditional Council has also proposed making Ghana and Gadangbe a compulsory subject.
It must be.
In schools,
in every school
within
in Greater Accra, whether you are private or you are public, once you are a school in Ghana, you should be teaching the kids Ghana.
You know the funny thing? I don't know why the curriculum has changed. Because my time, you need to study the Ghana. So you need to read and write.
You need to read and write.
So why people not reading and writing? What has changed? So I think that the Bureau of Ghana Languages is also working to promote the Ghanaian language. They are doing well. I've chanced upon certain schools across where you can even go there and they teach Ebani. So that if you find yourself in the north, you should be able to find your way out of it. Teaching house. I've seen there's a particular school I saw around. I don't want to be like I'm being an advocate for them.
It's not just because tree is easy to learn. It's because they project the language.
Yes.
Look,
so it has to be intentional.
It
has to be intentional.
They teach you tree. So when you go to Volta region, my sister is in school in Volta region. They speak. So when you come to
and you know, there's one thing I like about the Ewe greetings. They will greet and go to your great grandfathers and greet all of them.
So it should be compulsory. If you are in Accra,
you
have to speak Ga.
The Gameke will really phone lines on that. When you go on Naji, what Basani? What we more slotty. What can what fee? What we ne what? Nye track ke ni nyonye we are guy a channel no mokome petra. There's only one person I'll call it.
Anyway,
you understand?
Yeah.
So sometimes you ask yourself, we intentionally as a channel we try to do 70% of English, and then we blend with the tree because of people love to speak tree. We know there are stations that are doing the tree. But we say, okay, this is our strength, this is our mixed bag. So a little of Gadang, because let's get interactive with our own language. So we give the opportunity. When you call, speak away with us. Tell us what you want to do.
Yeah.
And so we do it intentionally because this is the platform we can use to also in a way begin to inculcate into the younger generation.
Yeah.
Be proud of your language.
Yeah. Be proud of your language.
Be proud of where you are coming from. When you have your roots becomes your foundation.
Yeah.
And when you understand basic things, like my late dad would tell you, look, you want to do mathematics, okay. You brought the homework. So after explaining, he goes to the local language. And it makes it much easier for you
to understand.
Oh, okay, this is what it means. So now when it comes to blending the language and opening up, because you now in your subconsciousness, you know that, okay, let's see if I should bring it this way in my language. This is what it means. It makes learning very easy.
Very easy, yeah.
And that is the things he was able to imbibe.
Yeah. Yeah,
for me, I think that
I'm an advocate for parents speaking their languages.
When it comes from, and to say, what you call, teaching them how to greet, how to say, how to pick things. You do intellectual levels. So we can speak a lot of English, but I think we also have to look at how do we do the blending. And so you will realize that we speak English to a point that I try to, as much as I can, to do summaries in various languages to help us to be able to adapt. So you too do something at home. Yeah. We're going for a commercial break. When we return, there's a big conversation coming up. I believe there are some strategies we can use to project the Ga language. Has to be incorporating Ga into the school curriculum and promoting language learning. Organize cultural festivals, ceremonies, and traditional practices to showcase the culture, creating digital content such as postcards and also audio recordings to promote the Ga language and culture will go a long way. It doesn't just remain with the AI. We have to do things intentional. We need to create platforms that speak. I know there are some stations that does. But how wild is it circulated? So let's use the digital channel.
Do you know how come I'm able to speak some little Ga? Because of my church, my former church, the Presby Church. Every Presby Church, Ga. If you are in Accra, you have to preach in Ga for the people to understand.
Have you gone to the Pentecost Church in Hawaii?
No.
Or go to the Divine Healers Church in Hawaii.
Okay.
Or you go to Maranatha second service.
Okay.
They speak Ga. Blast Ga,
that's how come.
So you end up picking the language. So sometimes I go for the first service, then I'll sit in for the second service because I want to pick certain keywords. Okay. I want to pick certain keywords, and then people do not understand. But this is our work here. We don't. Yesterday I didn't sleep. I remember the last week I didn't sleep. I have to sit on the nets to work on the frontage of our website.
Okay.
I came here. If you realize, there was some phone in Charlie. I slept like 3 times. Then I could hear MCR be telling me I should sit up, but I didn't know that I didn't sleep, and I came.
You came,
and it happens. God told me that I need to feed the site as quickly as possible. So these are some of the things. So we need to make things intentional. We need to learn.
Intentionality.
And once we make it intentional,
yeah. For me, I understand Gamache's frustration.
Oh yeah.
Because this is the capital. And because it is a capital, you have a lot of people from coming in, and they'll be speaking their languages. Yeah. So we have to make it intentional,
and then project the language and sell the language.
For me, I always give it to our grandmothers. So the mothers, no country, can't cry. They will force you to speak.
Yeah,
they will force you to speak. They will force you, and the mates for some of the mates, you go to the typical Ga communities, the mates, that is how we go about it.
Yeah. And that's on to me.
Now what I do is I speak basic. I try to speak my language.
The basic ones. To move around. I live for nothing. Just learn the basics.
That is the truth. If we don't speak, nobody will speak for us. So we have to project our language.
If we don't speak, nobody will speak for us. We're going for a quick turnaround. When stay with us, we bring in a big conversation. That conversation boils down on one big thing. Now, I said one big thing because I see it to be big in the sense that we're going to have a similar honor from the Lekma Polyclinic again. The head of the mental health unit of Lekma Polyclinic. We're looking at breaking the silence, the cervical cancer and mental health in Ghana. So don't go away. It's a beautiful conversation, and I know you will love it. So we'll be back after this break. All right, so welcome back into the studios of MBN TV. We live from the 10th Avenue Extension, Greater Estate, Nungwa at Dogon. We did promise that we're going to have this fantastic conversation that boils down on breaking the silence, cervical cancer, and mental health in Ghana. Yesterday, remember, we had a conversation on cervical cancer with Madame Sheila Ayer. But this morning, we have the singular honor having the man who has the mental health unit at the Lekma Polyclinic in the person of Mr. Isaac Ama Ashiboy. He's the head of mental health unit, Lekma Polyclinic. He's here with us. And I'll be looking at breaking the silence, cervical cancer, and mental health in Ghana. A very good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, and thank you.
I like your white.
Thank you.
And then the red and blue pen. What does that signal?
The blue signals all stands for life.
The red.
The red stands for death.
Oh my God. Oh, so that is what it means.
Exactly.
So when you see every nurse with blue and red, meaning that when you, that one they will use the red.
Exactly.
Agbena.
So we have two things in our hands.
Oh goodness.
During the care, exactly. So
wow.
Which role will you play?
Which role will you play?
Will you be the blue pen or you be the red pen?
The red pen. Wow. And in Ghana, I would say Ojeko.
Ojimra.
So it's good to be with us this morning.
It's a pleasure having me.
And it's once again, it's exciting to see you. And we also live, follow us on our Facebook. We're live on our Facebook, YouTube, X on MBN 360. Join us Instagram as well. You find MBN 360 and then you can watch us live, share, like our pages, subscribe to our pages so that anytime we on, you can get us the alert to be part of the conversation. And we all know that cervical cancer comes with a lot of stress. And it's one of the things. Ghana faces a significant health challenges, with cervical cancer being a major cause of cancer death among women, and mental health issues often stigmatized and underaddressed. I mean, this is something that has not been looked at. And we want to look at how to create the awareness, the education, initiative like awareness campaign, health infrastructure, and stuff like that. And to help us this morning is a man we know over 3,000 women annually, just this cervical cancer. And the mortality rate is very high. So how do we deal with this? And yesterday we were taught some few things. Now let me ask you, we know raising awareness about cervical cancer and mental health helps to reduce stigma and encourages seeking help. It's one of the breaking the silence we're looking at doing, and also education and open discussions can also lead to better prevention as well as early detection and treatment of these health issues. So this morning we've taken it upon ourselves to look at the breaking the silence. How do we break the silence? What are the key risk factors for cervical cancer in Ghana? And then the mental health aspect of it.
Oh, thank you once again for having me. When we talk about cervical cancer, like you indicated, people are at risk, particularly the younger ones. People who are also not vaccinated against the HPV are also at risk. Also, people having unprotected sex. In nutshell, too, we have people who have multiple partners. They move from one bed to the other whilst they are married or legally married to one particular person. Also, we have people who have this weak immune system. They are also exposed to cervical cancer. And the last one, people who are also exposed to tobacco smoking.
Sometimes say, if you're in a packet, oh, yeah, manima eniedo, unun shambo, Obana Mokodomobe, Lady man, Gomofiamo Lasu, Shanebeke, Gomofiamo Lasu. Over all long is also another part of it.
Exactly. Ne dollars ani eji if you talk about money. Many shamo we.
I mean, true. I mean, how many men?
I mean, only ya me me that I'm not make me he work or yo me.
No, Benny to offend.
Benny de bana.
Offend what chunk?
Yeah,
one shot.
I me see me how. Okay, me one bana few.
Oh wow.
Oh, cancer cases who increase day in day out. The cervical cancer, ever fatahi. It's one of the leading causes of death in terms of this virus. A kata wonye me here here. Wow. Afi me nig be or call by we here. Musunsha. No,
because annually you're getting 3,000 cases yearly. So you could just count the number of people that have lost their life from January through to December from the same disease. And we have 3,000 people, because the moment you chance on the report and you see the mortality rate is very high, that's why my heart begins to bleed. What's going on?
And that is the problem. So we thank the Ghana Health Service and the public health unit that they are doing extremely. All efforts are being put in place to do the sensitization like you earlier on indicated. So it is up to the citizen to embrace this sensitization and make good use of it. January is the month that has been set up to create awareness on cervical cancer. So I will use this medium to entreat our women out there to take this opportunity to have or themselves being screened. Early detection saves life.
Early detection saves life, and it prevents more casualties, more mortality rate, more death. And that is what we try to say. Because Ghana needs you. And we can't allow you to commit those suicides. No, we cannot. Now, what are the risk factors when it comes to cervical cancer? Before I come to the mental health of it.
You see, now, the younger ones are in a haste just to experience life. So with that mentality, they want to experience or try to taste what it is ahead of them without waiting patiently for the right time to have their turn. So you see people at this...
Oh, when you polish here to have their turn, what thing?
Okay. Now, we have a younger one saying, sex.
Now you are talking.
Out of curiosity, they want to explore more. No, but oblanyo feel in the early 13s, teens, it starts sex.
Peer pressure.
Oh yeah, he will not kind pressure. He work him woman. You'll be surprised.
The body system,
Chucky,
he's beginning to have certain kind of feelings.
So the hormones are working, and we understand them. But when parents are also not taking the lead in terms of educating their wards on what to do at a particular age, then at the end of the day, you expose this ward to cervical cancer. So what we are saying now is, yes, early detection saves life, but parents have this major role they have to play to curb the increasing number of cervical cases we are having. Like you indicated, annually, 30,000. Annually. So let's divide it into Ghana population. We are about almost 33,000. 34 million. So let's do the division and we'll see the number of that is the challenge we are facing now. No, what changugu ni me anu cervical cancer eye. Sike wonye won namla obanyo won mona ni mo wala aka jede. No ni bi ni banye ha waje na kan cervical cancer ahihie di ekume ni wo you here. We need to educate our world in terms of what they are to do and
so what parents will need to sit down. Now let's talk about sex.
Exactly.
Because it's not a mystery anymore. So sit with your wards. Tell them the do's and don'ts. No, even if you're not telling them, they will do it.
Exactly.
So why don't you tell them the do's and don'ts, and then they go there, they want to do it, they know how to prevent themselves.
Exactly.
Rather than to just leave them wholesale. Oh,
that's like that. In our
what culture is this?
And that is where we find ourselves now. Another risk factor is this.
Kodia is saying something that says that you're correct.
People with weak immune system are also at risk.
Okay,
So we need to boost our immune system. The Indomie, we are not saying it's bad, but
eat it
let's
early.
exactly.
Eat it early.
Exactly.
Anything spark, eat it early.
Exactly.
Yes, some spark is some. And those things you're seeing is flour.
Exactly.
The Indomie you are seeing is not anything, it's flour.
So at the end of the day,
flour will bloat you up.
Exactly.
Near a pan, on a pan why I shared I had the mackerel.
So now we need to monitor our diet to vegetables, the fruits. We are terming it to be balanced diet, not just balanced, but well-balanced diet.
Color your plates.
So you need to do this small. You get this small, at least it will be okay. Indomie now, they sell it a pack at least 20 cedis. So you take that 20 cedis, get yourself an apple, or maybe a banana, orange, and you're good to go. But yeah, Fabronia home we crackers. Yeah, the BBA koshe ohia. But we can afford Indomie, 20 cedis, 30 cedis a pack. But we can't afford just
a finger of a banana or get one orange.
That is where we find out.
So now on the screen we're showing you the cancer tissue, the cervix and the vaginal walls, where you view through the lonium with the patient's little position. Now, if you could explain, because I know some kind of a bleeding and other stuff, some swelling that also comes in. How do we deal with this symptoms? Once you begin to feel those symptoms around your cervix, what do you do?
The first thing is just report to any health center or health facility close to you. Then go in. It's like an OPD services.
Okay.
You can just walk in. Oh, this is the problem I'm having. Okay, they will direct you. Do this, do that, do that. Now, people are taking every pain to be normal. Every changes you see in your system, don't take it to be normal. One change may lead to another. And when it's seen early or detected early, something can be done to save your life. So on the screen, you see the normal service or the abnormal one. It starts somewhere. You see, when it starts to be cancerous, you see some changes. There are others that comes with bleeding. So you are not in your cycle. Your monthly flow, it's either over or you are yet to. But within that period, you see some spotty blood. Don't just say it to be normal. Early detection saves life. So when you see those things, the first thing is to do, rush to any facility near you, then you report.
Quite interesting. Now let's come to, we know Ghana, once somebody has this issue that has to do with the cervix, which tends to be cancerous, the papilloma becomes a problem. Now, how can mental health services be improved in our communities in terms of stigma when it comes to issues of breaking the silence?
Yeah, there is one thing I always say, that you can't say you are healthy when mentally you are not fit. So there is no health without mental health. So for you to be mentally healthy or to be physically healthy, we need to include our mental states. Now, stigma has been attached to everything. In fact, all health-related problems, there is a little or even a source of stigma attached to it. Let's take the cervical cancer, for example. Women who go through this case or this problem are tagged, stigmatized, because there are some who present with bad smell associated to the cancer. And the moment you pass by a lady, the signs we talked about just yesterday, when you are able to identify one or two signs, the best thing is rush. So stigma now has become part of our system, but we are also trying hard to fight against it. Because people are having cancer, but they find it difficult to report to the facility, based on the stigma attached to it. And because there are families, you see them isolating or neglecting that patient because he or she has cancer. And it's not only to cervical cancer alone, even with our mental disorders. There is one condition we always talk about, that is depression. People who go through these cancer cases, one way or the other, almost 80 to 90% are depressed. So when care is not taken, to also focus on that mental aspects of that person's condition, you end up, or the person may end up having mental problem in relation to the cervical cancer she's also having. So we need to also embrace the fact that depression is real. Whether you see yourself to be healthy today, tomorrow you can have depression. What is depression? We say depression is an abnormal lowered mood. And at times it comes with profound sadness. So let's take Yamansa, who is a cervical patient. And she has been diagnosed with this condition for about a year or two now. She's aware of her situation. But there is no family member getting close to her, engage her to even know her problem. So she's maybe isolated in a room. In the morning, they just go there, this is your food, they dump it. Without engaging that Yamansa to know her problem she's going through, so that if there is any support we can give, so that we can offer that service to that individual. But in our situation now, people are depressed because they have been abandoned because of the condition they are having. So depression now is also creating another issue for people who have this cervical cancer. Apart from profound sadness, you also realize that they have problem with their sleeping pattern. Because they have been diagnosed as someone who is having cervical cancer, you realize that, oh no, how come? They will start asking themselves so many questions without getting answers. So they find themselves in a situation where they themselves, they find it difficult to accept the reality. So people who have cancer are also prone to depression. Apart from this, they having problem with their sleeping pattern too. You could realize that those people previously, they have interest in particular activities they engage themselves most. But when the depression sets in,
They withdraw.
They withdraw. Those things that you previously take interest in, you realize no, they are no more having interest in those things. For example, she's that type who normally likes socializing. But the moment he or she is being diagnosed as someone who is having this condition, you realize, no, I don't fit in anymore. Then I have to withdraw. Gradually, you see her withdrawing from the group. And when the attention is not drawn to this individual, you realize that it's easy for him or her to be having suicidal thoughts. There are situations where you have the person having psychotic behaviors. There will be hallucinations, there will be delusions, and all forms of psychotic behavior. So the person has been diagnosed as someone who is having cervical cancer, at the same time can have depression.
Now, the other kind of a psychotic, I can you cheek a grandma, but mammy or tea jasso. Oh, I mean, what about blame if you well, how many summer if you a gun, you get dream if you never know you're on 11, if you don't want me PA.
You are none what watch on it. Cervical cancer ye a hilani. Ni ye nana can hila.
Tell me if you're jamming a
J. Amame Fort ye be kumano. Me kume ublai abi nimba. Ni amesmona me kanibie kume na me sheku na kan ni bie kume ne oblayo ne da ko no sheku moni sane na abole ni di sex ne si eje shishimla ni dole sane edi je mokume ke jonsi e ke mene ba ya ngene we ke mene de ibele mokume ni na body e
na ka
feel ne ha no be da na ni di intele ne bia ne no ni ya no aka acho no ko hook up no be ko hook am ya pe bo ape am no blaye bi ka me henwo mi
avenue
no bia na be ne ke bo ba gina hila ehe enti adrusa obehu say ase niama ne pa baako ti bia ode ne ho akohye mu no ade no wa start unim say ehun sonsan so da nanim enti obe start ode kojo start a ochina obekọ ya ho no akọ
ma Bernadette no din o hwe
aha asema ngrofo efem be ye dey say on beka ho asem apart from that no so na say ni ehun say omo immune system na ye weak no immune system na ye kana niam bi ase sojafo a omo bu man
defense
omo no mo defend ni the pedua no enti say yare bi ba omo aye ho say sojafo a oba yare no oba obeba okoko say me na ho kwa emba ba ebi mu de no aye weak to the extent say yare ne background po a onya ho kwan ba era ne pedua ni mu enti obi bia na immune system aye weak no or you're prone to this cervical cancer ye can
ma
cervical cancer le ye ahilani
no she be was she level ko ni kun mami me ke papa me ameboy aka atwose be ka die ke o bote na ka teen age me aba no na ka Saniba.
Da aya no ye follow e. Ne bia na efe to mo follow e na de ka.
Ashi.
Na kasi o ye school e ke he kuku me. No le ono ne nu e. E fiti no fe no. No bia na no ni
ko bile wi ake.
Afi ne.
Fi mo ne ba na ne ken.
Le be ke chomi ken ya. No bi no ba ko hele o se inna 30 years, 31, 40 ke ya o ba na ke ike na agba ikume ba abonpe. Ni na agba ejisisi be mi ne ya school. Ni follow na le kesanigba de ba chon le ni bi ikume ne cafe. No be de ba hele se ba na ke ya lo ne ke hila ne ehe ni dollars na eji da fie ye ne pata me hie da fie e musunja af me akpete oh e musunja no sa ka we cervical cancer ne no follow ko ye share no bo woto ye be ni sa no ko bi you ne buti tin na mi ne ke be sa no kala agbasa ne bia na ni bi ekume ni akete tamoblema na kegbe ke ko chon ne ka kegbe ke gbonyoni ene egbe ne lo nu ncho ne ene yohe ne ene ofofo ne ene esa ne mukutai ene afi bia na efe temo na kan no iya no ye follow e ke tanigba
washing back bia na me denja me
ana efe no na mesumo no ka me ti no aya school e ke kuma ya kasi e school e poni le follow up we le aka ni bi ko me bi o le anokwale no bia na e ba fe na agbe ha wo fe mi e wo mbo mo ne agbene me hu ni ye ni sha ameshelio bia na shisha ye system me tobacco bia na afi to monu na
wa na tashi na
no ma aha
bia na ke the countries now we are now in the new normal no hungbe wo
no gbe wo
ekuyen kakran
yebe hu se niama ka echire no na aye too late eno na akọ
na o bono tofa o ka bibi to say depression
good omo sa cervical cancer ye kan ho asem no e so easy so menya adwemo yare bi a ye friend depression no na depression na ye kan ho asem no ye kire mu a e yare ho mroso esense tibia na yare a abeto no nipa ne dwe ho ama obisa ne ho se miampa na eba ne sei eba ne sa na ebusuafo nso kakra no asa mo ayi ne ba akwa ahye ne nsa nipa owo sa yare na ohia odomo mmo no na se yayi ne ba akwa ahye ne nsa eba ne sa obehu se nipa we ono kwa ate ne ho areho na adwendwen eto de bia eduane a ye fre ne eduane ko no ote ho odwen sa eno ne kon ebi mu de no nkro mu nnemu krampo no na asesa ebi mu nso no oko school anasa oko ejuma obehu se pass obe concentrate we ejuma oye no na ayedem because depression no aka no and eba no sanso a in terms of decision making no nso no on shedan si jinaya obehu se jinaya ma si die correct decision ama make dabi emba ne sa to the extent mpo say ebe mo krampo no omonya ne e friend suicidal ideations and suicidal thoughts ke na ba be ya ke na ke henishin le she no ko beke hale sibia na henu washe ni fio wo momode ake
fio wo momode ake wa ashe breaking the silence cervical cancer and mental health in Ghana 0537158638 is the numbers. You can also join this conversation about no travel living any boom can no kungo no banyo bi Dr. Funyonita what akele health expect me ma be questions e gbe boy question ko no to bi what way be bibi wo bibi opeso bisa I mean when the health expert your Mr. Isaac Ashiboy or no or guru mental health. I mean anything that has to do with your mental health, the stigma that we need to break that silence. Yen kasa yen di hu komo we there's a barrier we see so memma a pressure no into me wo near ofefo no e kasa koye na you're very careful na one from one to asem dachi ehu hia. Every day is a future. Don't blow it away with just living some lifestyle and the near future it becomes a problem. Now, unfi atiasifo asasi so ntem. Was morning you ashin wo ya. One town you fe one hishi. You want that way 100, 200 years. The two sellers that you are for in chewo. O one basane ne one afe. Ni one year one me bibi fe na me nya hia un ye ba be bi ara nyonya pa. Wow, ona hibeka bia hu mami menye kama tashi papa menye kama tashi na basani 0537158638 is the numbers. Let's have this conversation. If something is bothering your mind, I can go board your mind. Living any whilst the health aspect is here and we're having the conversation that we can have, we can pick your thoughts on those subjects as well. Bernard, you have something you want to ask. But I've seen that you're sitting on tenterhooks. You've got something special to ask Mr. Ashibon.
Oh, I've just been enjoying the conversation, the mental health aspect of cervical cancer. And I was quite surprised that, it also comes with its own psychological, effect. But I wanted to know, does cervical cancer affect pregnancy and childbirth in any way?
Yes, it can, when it's not managed properly. There are others who may realize they have a problem during pregnancy. There are others who may also detect it after pregnancy. So now, what we are saying is, women or younger children who are ladies from the age of 12 going, 13 going, are exposed to it. So if you really want to conceive or taking seed, what you have to do is go to the health facility, seek advice through cervical cancer, get the knowledge about cervical cancer, then you know when to go in to take a seed. Then that will be really helpful to you.
Quite interesting. I mean, I'm looking at one other stuff because there's one thing that has always played out that has to do with stigma with it, like you said, any of the diseases people get. But as a nation, what are the common symptoms of depression in Ghanaian contexts?
You see, depression, for someone to be depressed, it doesn't come just like that. You should have some signs. Now, apart from this profound sadness and what have you, we've realized that, like, loss of appetite. There is a reason why this person is no more having interest to take in food. What is it? We need to probe further. Apart from this loss of appetite, we have this change in sleep pattern. Oh, Nancy, mean to me, me call them mada 2 hours na me. You ask, what is the problem? And yes, you. But if you should probe further, you realize there is 1 or 2 things that is eating that individual up. And when that thing is not resolved or managed, it will take some time. And someone can be depressed, diagnosed as someone who have depression for a period of 2 weeks. If that signs and symptoms persist continuously for a period of 2 weeks, then it's easy for us to say that, you have depression. So depression is real. When you realize, no, this person wake up in the morning,
because the point is, once you get to know that this is what you have, can also depress you.
Exactly. The fact that you know you have been diagnosed, no, I have this problem. Let's take someone who has diabetes, who has hypertension, and you know this is a chronic disease. The fact that you've realized, no, this condition has come to stay. For how long will I take medication? Does it mean I'm going to take medication for the rest of my life? That fact alone pushes that person into that depressive mood.
So you need a psychologist.
You need someone to talk to, let you know, yes, you have it, but that is not the end of the race. There is hope. We are managing it. So do this. When doctor asks you to do this, don't do that. Try and listen to advice. When you're able to follow all these guidelines, yes, you may have all this condition, but you will not be depressed. That is where our interest is. We are all prone to any of the mental disorders, but there is hope. When there is care, there is this love, there is proper treatment, my dear, we are easy to go.
We are easy to go. 053-715-8638. Numbers also which me afraid or Chobi and Noko and Nukunobabi or health expected before before we leave set with him and then go to other channels. Politics. When we health, well, other get health, I'm of young way. Really, Chumbo, a woman, maybe a while for the was started as a chum way free. Gane here, Niasa no pay of a shemmy. Niasa no pay of a shemmy. I know, Untiasi, Bibisa. So you can also call us. Let's get to hear from you. 053-715-8638 the numbers. Let's have a conversation. We're looking at cervical cancer and the mental health, the stigma that goes with it. Let's break the silence. Let's go beyond the culture and the norms and begin to have conversation on the bigger picture to save our sisters, our young ones, our mothers, our friends from this cancers. I hear this HPV from 9 to 14.
Years, yes.
And where do you get it?
any of the health facilities close to you. Now Lekma Polyclinic is doing the vaccination. If you go to Lekma Hospital, you can have it. If you should go to Ridge, any of these health facilities, you have access to it.
Is it expensive?
Oh, it's free.
It's free?
It's free.
Oh, okay. So if you have your daughter who is 9 to 14 years, please do the needful. And at what point do you have to start, when you start feeling the symptoms, you need to go to the hospital? And then when people, how do we let people know that, okay, I have this and I need help? Instead of stigmatizing the person.
Yes. Now we need to know the signs that comes with cervical cancer. So the question is, what are some of the signs one may see if I have the cervical cancer? You see, like I said yesterday, if you could recall, there will be this unusual vaginal discharges, and at times it's very offensive. And there are times it is blood stained. When you are able to detect this, then it's a caution. Another sign is bleeding in between menses. You know your normal flow, but this time around you realize, no, I'm flowing heavily than normal. It's also another sign. And also, during sexual intercourse, there is always bleeding after sexual intercourse. When you detect that, it's also a sign. Not only bleeding, but painful sexual intercourse. When you experience all these things, they are all signs of that may be sign of cervical cancer.
So you need to check.
You need to check and be very sure. Go to any health facility close to you, get a screening done, and clear your doubt. Also, people in our menopausal stages too, though they've passed that stage of menopause, they've passed the stage of they menstruating, but during menopause too, they bleed. If you are in your menopause and you are bleeding, please, it's a sign. It's best you go to any of the health facility and seek for attention. When attention is being given to you, make sure you tell the professional that is before you, tell him or her anything, the problem you are going through, and that professional will give you the best help you need.
The professional will give you the best help you need. 053-715-8638 is the numbers. When you call us, please lower the volume on your set. And let's have the conversation on the phone. You can ask your questions. You have contributions. Let's get interactive. Let's have a conversation. Yending komo. I mean, emma ne mata pomadi. Yemi anomma your teenagers. Your ma your dofu your maminum your namfo and see. Ubet me our friend 053-715-8638. Why don't you leave there? Let's have a conversation. We're looking at cervical cancer. How do we break the silence? How do we get our teenagers on the table? Let's talk. It's not about time for us to tell the narratives. It's no more a mystery for the kids having sex. Let's talk about them. Let's talk about it. Let's have discussion. Let's help them prevent it. Prevention is always better than a cure. Once we prevent it, we take them out of trouble. And if you've not vaccinated, please go get the vaccination. Move to any of the health facility, get vaccinated, and then you'll be free. When I vaccinate, let's say, if a kid vaccinates now, how long does it take for you to take another vaccine?
You see, when you sit before the professional, your age, you have between the age of 9 to 14 years. Afterwards, there is a provision for those who are above 14 years and on. So the most important thing is you come to the facility, talk to any professional, then we take it from there.
Come to the facility, talk to any professional, then we take it from the 053-715-8638. Won't you near Tiani Komoi? Bibichi Wadria, what many a bonkomo. Kanoko ni Omushishi, or no trap. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Bacha, within Obe, no track, within baby of
Hello.
Hello. Obanye Ori Kuma is like I'm having difficulties to understand the question. So if you could repeat what you said. Yeah, hello. Go ahead. Let's listen to you. Turn the volume of your TV set down. I think I'm having difficulties to really get exactly what he's saying. I don't know whether he's requesting for your number after the show. I think that is what I heard. So, but he wants to talk to you behind the scene. Maybe he has a peculiar problem.
Okay.
Talk to you after the scene. So maybe when you are leaving, we'll ask you to put your number there. 053-715-8638 is the number. You can also join us. Let's have this conversation. It's about cervical cancer, breaking the silence in Ghana. How do we break the silence? How do we break the cycle? How do we get a stigma? How do we deal with stigma when it comes to people carrying various cancerous issues, and then we try to neglect them, we take them off? Can the community and the family play a major role in helping with the situation?
They are the key players because you are with the client.
Hello, good morning. Hello. Hello, can you turn the volume of your TV set down?
Good morning.
Good morning. Your name, where region is? Morning. Your name, where region is live from?
Please, I'm Helen.
Okay, Helen, let's hear you.
And please, I'm with my husband for like say a year now. We've been having sex, but then I've not been pregnant, and I don't understand, so I'm asking.
Okay. Mr. Shiboy.
Okay.
Wow, I assume. Okay. Thank you so much, Helen.
It could be, you see, we have period after your menstrual cycle when you can conceive. So it's best you go to any of the health facilities, talk to any midwife. Maybe you are not able to do the calculation to get the safe period and the unsafe period to conceive. So when you are able to visit any of the health facility, see the midwife, she can help you to do your calculation, even do the calculation properly and know when you can conceive.
All right, so I think that question has been answered. 053-715-8638 is the number. You can also join us. Also reach me a friend. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Okay, so you can call us. We're having a conversation. It's around breaking the silence in cervical cancer and also mental health in Ghana. Anything that has to do with your health. Cervical cancer, 3,000 annually. Mortality rate is very high. It's killing our daughters, our sisters, our friends. We don't want to lose any of you. That's why we have to get this conversation. Parents get involved in nurturing. It's no more a mixed story. Hello, good morning.
Please, good morning.
Good morning. Your name?
Please, hello?
Yeah, tell us your name and where you calling from.
Please, I'm Agnes.
Okay, Agnes. From where?
From Aboseokai.
From Aboseokai. Let's hear you, Agnes.
Please, I want to ask, because when we were in school, they normally tell us that using feminine wash and clothes to wash and that makes that place good. So I want to know if it's true.
All right, thank you so much from Aboseokai. We're grateful.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Naturally, there is something we call normal flora. God created women in a unique way.
They were not created, they were made.
Okay.
God made them.
God made women. God made women in a unique way.
You were created.
I was created.
And you were called, he called them Adam, created them male and female.
In such a way, say, kama
unique.
Demufua, medas, Omud demufua.
Chai.
Na say, in Crawford, Niama Bibri, Senia, a bentize mano. Ye Bibi normal flora. A mano or Mwasiho enzyme be or hoa. Yankupon yen in such a way, say, Bibi bemwa, ensese cobody nemwa, or no fight it.
Okay.
But now say women feminine other products no mu use no Omudi ku saa nneɛma no mu saa enzyme no mu.
Oh gee.
Nti at the end of the day no so the ni original gate ano a obo dan no ho ban wo fie no ho ban no uyi ni free ho a wo dan ne de ha kwa obi bia betumi abem abe attack o.
Oh.
Nti me personally no I always say I wouldn't advise any woman and any lady
to even use a soap to wash
at all because nyankopo abom ayemo in such a way say ehɔ no ɔde bibi ahyɛ hɔ a ɛno a ekipi hɔ kama
we asa no we asa oh kata ni amasa
nyankopo bibi ahyɛ mo ma no mo ase hɔ baby a
as a safety net
exactly ɛbɔ ho ban nti wo di bibi ɛkɔ hɔ apart from the nyankopon de ama wo na ɛgye sɛ wo pa ka kyerɛ nyankopon sɛ ne ɔde ma wo no we ni so ɛnyɛ but wo di better one but no mom crampo na ɛha adwen no
and SI safety
net no ɛwɔ hɔ na ɛbɔ wase ho ban no nti ɛbɛsrɛ ma ɛbɛsrɛ mo pa
won qualify
ni saa nneɛma na feminine wash ni ebi mu to the extent so mo di soap high scented soap ehro ho ebi mo di hwentia ne pepre yes that's all Savlon and all those things you see niama bebre koso
a but say omo yesa because omo say man or some dey omo take crema form was
that is even
is it one of the reasons
and no crampons expose be man to another form of cancer bia
in the
obenya
Yehowa
and tonight say naturally no nyankopon boy yen nipa no in a unique way we need to appreciate senior nyankopon boy no you can't deceive nature.
You can't deceive.
Wase ho no, you say be man fa ni dua enhye ho. And apart from that, now we introduce bibi foforo ehye ho a, na che say you are exposing yourself.
Machines now.
Ebi mo de
use system machines.
I'm
find that ready.
Do say do. Yati bebre. Sanya man who advise man say,
hey,
it's best for them say you abstain from all those things. Ebi mo so you so amonsa.
O makai me house baako. Zedere Payaroba.
I say.
Hey!
Niama nkoso menfe ni bi wa. Menfe ni bi wa. Ba kpafai. Ye follow teme. Ne ha wo bia ya, wo himba ya wo bia hi. Ni bi na mekase oye wo se wole, ni di bi ekome yo hira. No ba kpafai. Neke feminine wash ke kokume ne. Ahie dwemu ake e clean or German neat. Se nyomo efele e ke nokwe wu Germany no mo e neat po fe no ni gbomo fe. No ba akpafai.
053715. We've got just about 5 minutes to wrap this conversation. I've got Oye Noko no baby tre wa adwen opese obisa your 5 minutes pe. You we are na afia dane yakọ mo yi so ne yakọ pa NDC MPP yakọ events back in events 31st primaries. Prophecy against data. Election Obekasa 31st. Charlie Champlain and Uchebe Basso. But see, what now we're looking at breaking the silence. 0537158638. We got just two minutes to wrap this conversation up because Mr. Ashiboy will have to go to work. Will pick the man from his office, Charlie. Power the street though. Pick the man from his office and came and put him here. He's sitting with us. Whether head of department, Walker Leba. For shaggy reasons. You can call me later. Mr. Ochering. Don't worry. We'll talk later. So 0537158638 is the numbers. Let's have that conversation this morning. If you have any questions to ask, send it now. At least we've got some 3-4 people who have asked some few questions. And for me, that's fine for us. It tells you that people are listening and people are watching and they want to. They've taken some cue out of it. I think it's some more time for us. I think one of these is I have to have a parent here. We talk about why we need to teach our young ones the importance of sex. Sex is important. God made it, but we need to talk about it. Not when you get to the right age, then you can do it. Not just doing it. Right?
Exactly.
Any other thing you want to share with us before you?
So, I always say this. There is no health without mental health.
There is no health without mental
So
health.
we need to take our mental health very seriously. When you have
Hello, good
issues,
morning. Hello. Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Odo. At the saying,
Good morning.
Macho, good morning. But you remember, we team in the volume now from near the Nkomo phones. Ma o TV no volume no anchor form na yendi Nkomo wo phones. The dofo. It's every to make us a free him. Your frost say. Hello, good morning. Okay, so we feel lying also when you mean not lying also. Now, Mr. Shibo, you were saying something before
Yes.
we went to the phone line.
there is no health without mental health. So each and every one has to take the mental state very seriously. You shouldn't be shy if you have issue and you want to share. So seek for help and know who to share your problems with. There are people you share your problems and you realize at the end of the day it's out there. That alone kills. And when people should also confide in us to tell us their problem, let's try as much as we can to keep it as confidential as it is. Because there is this trust. That is why that person came to you to share the problem with you. So mental health or mental illness is real, and there is no health without mental health.
Mental health is real. There's no health without mental health. I think some people trying to call in to ask a question, but this is where time will permit us and allow us to come this far with this conversation. We'll be making a day to again. We'll have different levels of conversation when it comes to issues that has to do with our health. One of these is I need to get you on the night program on 9 p.m. I know Mama will say, 9 p.m. the man call Ella. We're going for that break. When we come back, we pick the few text messages that has come in, and then we wrap up. All right, so welcome back after that conversation on the breaking the silence on cervical cancer and mental health in Ghana. We have some few test messages. We want to read the messages. We go back to the phone lines, have a conversation on the various topics we've discussed today. And then right after that, we wrap up for the day. So we go to Menchia first, where we have Capito. And Capito says, Capito goes to Menchia, say, like I keep saying, same lies and propaganda that brought JDM and NDC to power will continue, expose them and take them to opposition. So I'm pleading to all candidates in the MPP to give Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia another chance to lead the party to win power come 2028. He is number 3 on the ballot. No mistake, it is possible. And this sends his regards to maybe Hawa Kumsi, the incoming MPP National Women's Organizer. Away from that, let's go to this one. And this one, he did not put his name, but I think something has to do with good luck. But he said, it is quite sad when I see our Ghana language being treated as if it is a forbidden language on our own land. Now, this is very serious. He feels sad when he see the Ghana language being treated as if it is a forbidden language on our own land. Wow. That's a deep one. But unfortunately, he didn't put his name. But next time, please, when you send us a message, put your name and where you are sending the messages from, and we'll be glad to associate with it. And that's it. Now we go to the phone line, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what do you make of that message that talks about the Ghana language being like a forbidden language?
Oh, yes. I mean, it's very sad. Like I said, this is the capital. And we have millions of people living in Ghana. So if everyone should speak Ghana, I mean, everyone who has ever lived in the capital for some time should speak some Ghana, basic Ghana. So we'll have almost 20 million people speaking Ghana, right? So, like you said, there should be some intentionality to push the Ghana language out there. Every school in Ghana, in the Ghana land, should have a Ghana teacher. And like I was also saying, it is also about the availability of Ghana teachers in our schools.
So we need to train more teachers.
To train more teachers. So that is what the Ghana Traditional Council can champion. To make sure that there are people who are going into Winneba, the colleges of education.
I mean, support people to go and people can also come up voluntarily to support to help make this cause. I mean, that agenda, it has to be agenda setting. I believe that the Ghana Traditional Council have set the agenda. Let's all support it and make sure that we are able to push it. Let's be intentional about what we do. Once we do that, we get results. And that takes us to our next final lap of the conversation this morning. You didn't come on a fee MPP camp, Brian Bawumia, Kennedy Edu, Chum Isaac, ever engineer Kwabena Ejapon, this uncle money akoshe. I mean, in somewhere a fat young Ghana home. Sika Samo home, Nyama Abai Paso ye, Nyama Abai ye, Edim Sanko money in a minority in parliament. Almost Nancy, your majority of crime agency certificates be an from the Trump. One will not allow you to do things haphazardly. The minority have said that the majority has also come out and said you failed the Ghanaian people. We'll let them know what you did. Another school of thought has also come in where Dr. Stephen Amwa also said that it is not the foundation laid by the S1 administration. That is why we are enjoying the current breeze in the economy. Not that the current administration has done any magic. 053-715-8638 is the numbers. You can also call us. Who wins the MPP race? Who wins the primaries? Prophecy against data. Who wins it? 053-715-8638 is the numbers. You can also have a conversation. Also, between actual you buy no trouble. All the nitty-gritties of all the things that needs to be said, especially when it comes to the MPP primaries. We also chat upon other stories that has to do with the majority in parliament. We've touched on that based on that as well. So you can share your thoughts with us this morning, and then we can pick it up from there. You were saying you chanced upon a story.
Oh, yes. This is about South Korea.
Oh, okay.
Yes, the former first lady of South Korea. The name is Kim Ki-yeon. Has been sentenced to 20 months imprisonment for accepting bribe. And guess the giver of the bribe? A church. Yeah, but her husband was impeached and had to leave office because he declared martial law. I mean, these are countries that are serious about their laws. They uphold their laws, unlike in our case where it becomes some way. So yeah, I'm following that story. This is a former first lady. She's been in prison. She's been sentenced to 20 months imprisonment.
I know you're going to call on some name, but it's early morning.
I am trying hard not to.
Don't try to call that name.
I'm trying hard not to.
That name has already suffered a lot of backlash already.
Yeah.
So 053-715-8638. Let's have this conversation this morning. So share your thoughts with us as quickly as possible. Government tried within the big push, the 10 million agenda of the big push, tried to do the volleyball bridge across the water to the eastern corridor. So we've talked about that already. Every vote counts. Get out and vote for me, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Reduce cocoa prices. Incur our wrath. Minority dares. Says cocoa farmers always poor under NDC government. How true is that? Bawumia points for victory. Significant shift in MPP delegate preference following final round of campaign. Supreme Court dismisses OSP bid to join the suit, challenge its powers. Okay. And also, you don't come and anopay. And so, also, bit to me, do I didn't about. There's this story of DVLA. Don't pay more than the DVLA, the Driver and the Vehicle Licensing Authority, has clarified that the current fee for vehicle onboarding under its digital registration exercise is 25 cedis, urging the public not to pay any amount beyond this charge. If you assume open internal they go for the Agoro boys and go more. They go them go take them money. You know what it means by that? Yeah, they will take their money. The stress that the fee is 25 cedis and will not be accompanied with any issuance of certificate of title of blah 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 is also there. So make sure you take note of that. It's a Miento kind of pay 053 715-8638. Air numbers are also between attributing common. With about 60% of Ghana's population predominantly within the working age, the inability of the housing sector to provide affordable homes for this category of persons is not an economic failure, but a structural barrier, and for the youth, a barrier to adulthood. It's a serious barrier. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Morning. All right, I said, well, the line has dropped over to me afraid. You can call back while you're traveling. I tell Ayomi on 053-715-8638 the numbers. You can have a conversation with us, and let's have a conversation. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. But you wouldn't be afraid. If you bet me I'm out TV, the volume now from the church come off phones. Hello, morning. Yes, you Minia, boss. Okay, Roman for the young boy.
Roman for the Asante Kumasi. Now, open country. My mama so the mapa with you down now with the vision of the Bushra. Now, the meeting I can't let my papa is one of the job on the Southwest MP. And the mapa teacher for the Master Square MP. The mapa of the Wire now, we share Roma. And the president of Ghana, you recommended the candidate for the modality. But I'm number one, we are voting because they must be a of pressure. I buy my done at the for Roman and dear. It's a little bit of Mama, the Mama. But to say, Papa, our father told me you are a kind of collateral. My council consume to go. What the papa is good enough. California, so papa, over the work at the bottom with this car. This kind of grandfather, it's a different to the Mama. Can't afford to have a view. What kind of proposal to our catcher and down for was the only play. And I can't afford to afford this year. It's a little bit of the Mama and another one, but I know how kind of you. Yes, kind of question. Yes, when you are a cry, you do the position. Mr. Oh, I say, open what you will be saying. What would you want to say?
Yeah, it's a Roman father. You yate Roman father, yeah, what Yasumams are buying so 8 year, one more TNT. Also, which is 053-715-8638. Your numbers also between me up for you. can also give us a call on 053-715-8638. Let's get interactive. Nathan Naomi on 053-715-8638. Obano Chow, Manu Mafia on 053-715-8638. Hello, maybe I major was so late.
I need to be a Macami yesterday. We drank Boga.
Okay, Boga, you
because referee Tawichi, last now Tawichi, my commission Tawichi, then now we I'm keeping something for me and I can't wait. Almost for and I want some more. So, 8 million patients from say, and about Yabba, Mayden. Oh, catch the ball, man, we look at you over them. I have step like that, you are 9 years. We have a from a commission in today. So that you because the mamma, yeah, nobody. Me, Papa, the country said, yes, very because of the idea of family and so much more can 1% to power. When you peer in that you say, now, I am a penny not to so 1% to power. A dinner, a year, can be the point. One so young, enjoy my Romanian family in Papa. Now, before getting America, because the best tuition in the country, and the millions to the school. Yeah, Open Gracia, Yadias and Canada, Canada Gracia. Almost Papa, because our father said no kind, we will form Pasasso, no form Passo. So, when I got the Passage, this one, we will be careful. It's been good once and time, because we study a book in the 30 years. And to follow in a million. So, would go on the quiet but was like this car. When you discover many, so say, gravity is your source, right, for your lesson. Not one just a rule, sending Papa, come to. Like just let Apple Bay now, my Lucianica. Again, the dresser of my ladies. Who can come to the Diablo Ocasen Japan? One more and the probably don't catch yourself to my name. When you are also the Lucian, never let that name. Young come to see him. I know my friend, because now, one so the BIA, the BIA, now becomes young, I don't pass it. And the mobile can and crack. And then the president can never make us a big band. You know, not to anybody move. I was in the swamp with your now you man of the shall kind of name. Let us about your who believes that the other person will one of the twins of an enemy, the other one for one cup. Who believes to man teachers with letters. And you have been here more sessions, he's more and continue sessions. No one is supposed to wear the man. Then you know the woman you found. And I'm afraid,
Yes, that's say one so in Yamre and the Attrition Command and pay our MBN TV, so national policy focus. The final wrap NCBS region so on 053. You wanted to say something?
Yeah, so there's news just coming in about the by-election.
The by-election at Ayawaso?
No. There's one in the north.
Oh, okay. That's the Kwandai.
Yes, so Supreme Court quashes High Court judgment which annulled MPP's Matthew Nyindam's election as Member of Parliament. So by this decision, Matthew Nyindam
is still the MP for Kwandai. Great news for Martin.
I don't know if there will be any.
No, I don't think. I think where it has got it. I see, because if you look at, I said it here, the way the whole thing was shrouded. How can you say just a 40 days? He said now they should. No. It doesn't really order well. Yeah. Let's look at the pros and cons of exactly what caused the problem. Yeah. And if the wise thing to do is let's bring it, let's finish it up, the different things. So. We respect the laws.
Nyindam.
He's back. Oh, I mean, the way he was sacked from Parliament.
And I want to hear the NPP on this matter.
Tonight we'll have a conversation.
Boycotting the CJ and everything, all of that. Look, the Supreme Court is for Ghana. You would definitely go to the Supreme Court.
Definitely.
Let's be circumspect on some of our pronouncements because I'm sure they'll be happy about this one. Right. So congratulations to Honorable Nyindam. Yeah.
Congratulations to Nyindam and also a super work by the Supreme Court making sure that we brought finality to this matter. I think we have to start wrapping up. A birthday wish from Amafrim Poma to Ebenezer of Nsawam. It's a birthday blessing. You know, the man is a couple, right? A big man. Charlie, he's a big man.
Big man.
Yeah, big man celebrating his birthday today. All right, so all the way from Nsawam, Ebenezer, Milsey of Ebenezer of Nsawam, wishing you more greatness, love, favor, and everything good you deserve. And your mighty God bless you in abundance. Be great, dear, from Amma from Poma of MBN TV and News Anchor. Wishing you much love, bro. Enjoy your birthday with God blessing. Okay, so 0537158638 numbers. Yes, so read your media. So any other stuff you want to put across, and then we can say bye-bye to our viewers and say thank you to them.
Yeah. I just want to say thank you to our viewers and especially those who sent text messages, those who called in.
You know, people try calling, but the line kept dropping. I think once the line keep dropping, if you happen to pass through it early before we go, then fine. Certainly. But if not, so you were saying something. Let's continue.
So also a big thank you to our health professionals who came into the studio to offer some education on cervical cancer. My take today will be on our local languages. As an advocate for our local languages, I want to urge our parents to speak the language with their children. Language is passed down. So if you don't speak with your children, what you are telling them is that what you are trying to project is that you don't care if your language extends, right? So let's speak the Ewe, let's speak the Hausa, let's speak the Gan, let's speak the Chi, let's speak the Dagomba, and all our languages, so that when we are no more, our children will also speak and pass it down. Otherwise, our languages stand the risk of being out of place.
All right, so thank you so much, Bernard G. No, the middle name is what?
Agbemo, and that is my real name.
Your real name. Okay, so Mr.
And ever without a middle name is
all
a
right,
fake
so
one.
Bernard Agbemo Eduji, my co-pilot, and we'll say thank you to you. Thank you to the team from the PCR, MCR, to our viewers, silent viewers who will not send messages but still will sit through with us from 6 till now. We say we are grateful. Our texters, our callers, we appreciate everybody. Every time you can hurry down, make it possible. And we're saying that you are doing great, taking care of yourself and seeking support. Keep pushing forward, one step at a time. Those of you going through cervical cancer or any of the cancers that is disturbing you, you are stronger than you think.
Yeah.
And there is hope for better days ahead. Once again, my name is El Samuels. I did this together with Bernard Agbemo Eduji.
Yeah.
We say have a great morning. If you stop to say a prayer, say one for me and him and the entire team. But always don't forget to say a prayer with every heartbeat. I'll be back 2 p.m. with Sports Focus. Stay with us and keep watching NBN TV. We love you all. God bless you all.
MBN, the Gospel News and Entertainment.